My friend is treating me badly and I don't know why.
Because you're the bad friend.
Oh. Am I the a-hole for not paying my friend back after he paid for our drinks? I've been through a rough patch, which I posted about before, so I won't rehash that. I don't have many true friends and fewer that weren't actively avoiding me, and one is my friend, Hank, male 39. By the way, this comes from user Isn't She Unusual? And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, my birthday just passed over spring break. I don't make enough money for parties or drinks, so I invited 5 friends over to my 1-bedroom apartment for a small gathering in our group chat. I got pushback because they wanted to go out. I said, well, I can't afford to go out, but I can open some wine. And then all but my friend Clara pushed again for going out. Hank said he would pay for me. I agreed and put on my nicest clothes, and we went for drinks. When the bill came, I looked for Hank, but he had left. Hank!
Oh, no.
What are we doing here, Hank? I kind of panicked, but didn't say anything. But Clara said, I thought Hank was going to pay for you. Then when no one said anything, she offered to pay for some of it, and my other 3 friends pitched in a few dollars, but I was still about $10 short, so I just pulled from my gas money for the month to not ask anyone for help. It was so embarrassing to fumble around like that. I usually go by the mantra that if you can't afford to go out, don't. I felt stupid for breaking my own rule. I texted Hank later, admittedly tipsy, and asked why he had left me with the bill. He didn't respond. He's going to be like, I was just kidding. I told you I was going to cover the... I told you I was going to pay for your drinks. I was just joking.
Or... I pay for the drinks. I get some water. I get a little tall glass.
Wait, I'm confused.
Like,
I'm confused.
I pay for the drinks and I get the Bonya.
Oh.
Hank's had something for OP for a while.
Is that, wait, did you, is that the, wait, what?
What just happened to you?
A glass of water is a euphemism for banging?
Yeah. Like
what?
Sipping up. Tall glass of water.
Now, I've heard that, but I just heard that about like someone who looks good.
Yeah.
A tall drink of water.
Yeah.
This is news to me. I'm going to have to do research on this. I can't. There's no one who can get their hooks in my brain.
You just do this to yourself.
More than you can, bro. I swear.
Are you looking up on that thing?
No,
I thought you were.
No, I lost the story. I'm just going back in. No, but I'm going to have to look that up.
All right, look it up.
Maybe it's a colloquial thing. That's just what they say in North Carolina.
North Kakalaki.
Okay. I then went to our group chat and thanked everyone for coming out and that it meant a lot, but another friend said it was fun, except when OP ruined it by crying. Hank texted a laughing emoji saying he agreed, but that's my thing now.
Crying out in public. That's so reassuring and comforting. Thanks, friend.
Who are these friends?
Yeah, you should be able to cry in front of your friends, right?
I guess.
Right?
Well, let's see what happened. I did cry at one point. I'd gotten choked up thanking everyone for celebrating with me as I felt low recently and explained some of what I wrote in my last post, which we don't know about, and how I essentially felt like no one cared about me.
Oh, so she cried because she was expressing gratitude for the friends she has.
She literally cried because she was like, thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate you guys being in my life.
What a
now
bummer.
They're like,
it was fun until OP cried like a big baby.
Honestly, yeah, that checks out.
ugh.
I don't want anybody telling me how much they appreciate me. That's lame.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Riley needs hate. Don't love Riley. Hate him.
Call me, bad names. Don't tell me how much you like me.
Call him stinky
Ooh, that's a good one.
and then smack him on the knee. Call that a knee slapper.
Knee slapper.
That was weird banter. Having this gathering was a happy thing I can hold on to and remind myself I do have people who care. I then had gone to the bathroom to fix my makeup and was all smiles after that. After my friend's comment in our group chat, I apologized for ruining things, as I thought it was all good and hadn't realized I brought the room down. I thankfully got a gift card from my aunt and had a free birthday drink at our favorite bar restaurant, not the place we were in before. So I went to listen to the live band that would be coming out and spotted Hank. I waved at him, and he invited me to sit with him. And I did. So wait, that's a weird move. When you dodged paying for someone's drinks and then you're like, come sit next to me.
You might get more drinks out of it.
How is this a misunderstanding, though? No, Hank, I'm not going to let you trick me, too. Stop it, Hank. I'm all turned around. We listened to the band the whole night and stayed a bit to finish our last drinks. He said he was surprised to see me out, and I said something along the lines of, well, I wanted to do something to lift my spirits as my ideation was high lately. I mentioned that I was diagnosed with major depression and I have anxiety, so if anything, I care too much. And he rolled his eyes and put his hands up in a mock surrender and changed the subject. The bartender, who knows both of us, checked in with us to ask if we would have another round, and Hank said he would. I asked what my tab was to check and make sure I wasn't overspending past my gift card's amount, and Hank got mad. He loudly said, "Jesus Christ," and said he gets it already, and if I want to be an a-hole about it, fine. He threw his card towards the bartender to pay for both of us. I apologized and said that's not why I was asking, but he just told me to shut up about it and he was done. I felt so embarrassed. People were looking at us and I tried not to cry. When Hank looked at me again, he said, "Oh, you're going to cry now?" and threw up his hands, telling me I always do this and he knows I do it for attention and to freaking get over it.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's not a friend.
And this is when, like, the bartender calls the bouncer over and is like, "Get this belligerent a-hole out of the establishment?"
Yeah, it seems. I think Hank sees things a little bit differently in that, oh boy, or like that attitude where just get over it, get a job, get more money.
Yeah, just kind of, yeah, Dad, why don't you just do that thing?
Instead of complaining that you have no money.
And then she's like talking about like her mental health and he just goes, "Hey, you got me. All right, let's talk about anything else." It's like, dude,
Come on.
kind of a,
It's a sore spot for me. And if you don't have friends that understand your sore spots, are they really your friends?
yeah, this guy sounds like he never graduated high school. I started to cry and said I'm sorry. And some guy told Hank to pull it back and leave me alone. Hank cussed him out, threw $10 at me, muttering he wished I would harm myself, and left without his card?
Yeah, that's not your friend.
Throw this guy into the sea where the sea monsters can nibble on him. What are we doing?
Yeah.
That's like a...
What the heck? Go. Did
That's
he say,
a throwing hands type of comment. I'm not going to lie.
say go
That's
F
like,
yourself or go off yourself?
that's what he said. He basically said, "Go off yourself." Dude, that's a fight instigating type of moment.
Goodness gracious.
What is wrong with this guy?
What?
All over like nothing, over drinks he said he would pay for and then bailed on.
He just doesn't want to accept how big this is for OP, and it's just making a big deal out of it.
Well, yeah, and I think we haven't even touched on that if this person's financially insecure, they're like, "I don't want to go out. I don't have the money to spend." And then all our friends are like, "Come on, come out, come out, come out." It's like,
Yeah, we're not in the same boat right now, guys.
this is crazy that this guy is pulling this. The bartender had already returned his card with the customer receipt and placed it in front of us. People at the bar and the staff were kind to me, and I stayed to calm down. The bartender brought me my other drink and said my drinks were on the house and my previous drinks were on Hank since she took his card, meaning he was covering it. An older gentleman made conversation and eventually asked what that was all about. I explained about my birthday dinner. He frowned and said women couldn't expect men to pay anymore and that it was selfish of me to expect it as it was his choice. What are you talking about?
Well,
How are you just
Lovely.
Oh.
that's lovely conversation.
And this one is just a okay grandpa type moment. This is just a stranger. Don't waste any emotional energy on this guy. I later texted in the group chat to Hank that he left his card and the bartender has it, and I hope he went home safely. I made no mention of the argument, but he texted back, "Okay, you want to bring everyone else into it? Fine." Is this guy just like super drunk right now?
Probably. I think he likes OP and he wants her to get drunk so he can talk to her. That's my underlying.
That is actually, he's got playground. This is playground crush behavior. This is like the pulling on the pigtails.
Yeah.
Going,
Well, I don't know about
You are
that. It's a little
cooties.
bit more aggravated and mean.
well, yeah, because he's 39 and he's not an innocent child, but it's like it's the same technique of like, I have a
don't
crush
know if
on
I
this
was going about
person and I
that.
want to bother them.
I just think he was upset. I think he was upset because he wanted OP just to relax, have some drinks, chill out.
Oh, like that. You meant,
And she won't do it. And he's like, "Oh, you always ruin this." Oh.
See, you put the, now I've got the idea that he's got a crush. He's got a crush on OP and he doesn't know how to
Yeah.
express it properly.
Probably.
So he said to everyone that I bullied him into paying, and it's now my shtick to use in public. And if you don't, she'll cry and get the bar thinking you're an a-hole because I'm selfish and need to be a spoiled princess, even if it's not my birthday anymore.
Oh, boy.
Can we get Hank out of the group, please? Can we expedite that?
Goodness gracious. Sorry, OP. This is tough. This is a tough
Yeah,
one.
this is terrible. A few of the group started berating me and telling me to get over $10 and that Hank let it slide the first couple of times I tried to guilt trip him, but that this was now out of hand. OP, get new friends. They're out there. When Hank said he paid for everything, they said I owed him. And Hank put a Venmo request screenshot in and texted, I mean, I wouldn't hold my breath, but I will make it easy. Are we all still remembering that this guy didn't pay for OP's drinks the first time when he said he would?
Yeah.
And this is all happening because OP was asking to know, based on her gift card balance, if she could pay for the drinks on her tab at this
Yeah.
other place. And then Hank took it upon himself to take that personally and paid for her drinks on his own accord again, and is now sending a Venmo request. This guy, they built this guy in a stupid lab.
But this was 2 instances. There's probably been another instances where she's asking about money, asking about how much something costs. Money just keeps always bringing up in smaller ways, but then these last 2 times kind of built up more, and Hank's like, I'm just over it. I can't be doing this anymore.
So this was like with the fuse like ran out, and now this is the explosion.
Yeah. Well, the other time she was just checking for herself. Like, how much is this? I'm good. I won't eat. I won't drink.
That's why I'm confused, because OP sounds like someone who wouldn't do that. It sounds like she's someone who's like always aware, and if she doesn't have that money, she doesn't want to go out. So
I don't know.
I'm just so confused how she's
what
earned
I'm
this.
saying is she's always checking herself. How much is this? Can I pay for it? Nope. I'm good. I won't eat. How much is this drink?
Even that is like,
Yeah.
relax.
And then he's like, you're always saying something about it. Or friend would always come up and be like, no, I'll get this for you. And she's like, oh, okay.
Just stop being broke.
Yeah.
So I explained that I can't pay him back until payday and explained about the gift card. And then the texts came rapid fire. BS, I call BS, blah, blah, blah. I muted the notifications and spent time with my dog watching TV. Now I'm getting iced out for my friends, except for Clara. Save Clara. Clara is your friend. 2 of them have spouses at my job, and they are avoiding me at work. I feel like I should just apologize and Venmo the money after I got paid. I don't have many friends, and being alone is really getting to me. I know I've been hard to be around lately because I'm not my normal chipper self, so I know not a lot of people will want to put up with me. Am I the a-hole?
Oh,
Sweetie,
man.
no.
Oh, man.
You going through a tough time does not give your friends free pass to just completely
Slam on you.
Yeah, like just degrade you. Like
This is wild.
You cried tears of like happiness that they were there for your birthday, and then they mocked you about it.
Yikes.
That's actually one of the most insane things I've ever read, and that should be an immediate. You know what? You're better off without these people being your friends. Clara is your friend.
Yeah.
The only person in this story I've read as your friend is Clara.
I agree. I hope you can like go out and do other things rather than having to interact with these people. Seems you're stuck because money's tight and you can't like travel a lot of places, or you might be in a small area. I don't know. There are more people out there. It's tricky to figure out, but you're smart. You can do that.
I always will suggest the same thing, and it's pickleball. Casual pickleball playing and players.
What about
The
rock
best
climbing?
Rock climbing. Well, it's also a great community, but it's like the entry level's a little higher because it's expensive.
I would say,
and she's maybe financially insecure.
For guys, basketball. Pick up basketball.
Yeah, any sport. Sports are a great way to meet new people, make new friends.
Sometimes churches, that's a good place if you're comfortable doing that.
Drum circles.
Drum circles?
Like literally anything.
Yeah, bird watching.
Yeah.
Cloud watching.
Find like
theater. Theater's huge.
Find I don't usually hype up Facebook, but they do have like a lot of like community pages and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
For certain, like in your area, if you want to find a group of people who want to do something you want to do, you can find it probably on Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah. You got it. You have to be slightly more extroverted. That's tough. That is tough for people.
I don't even know. Yeah, it is true if you're an introvert. I'm just so confused by how OPs ended up here because they don't sound like anything except like they've been going through a hard time emotionally, and it's like all of their friends are just like dehumanizing them for it.
Well,
it's crazy.
You can never know. You never know.
It's true. We don't know. We don't know how far the rabbit hole goes. Okay. Edit. I apologized to the group and muted the group chat. Easter was awful as my family didn't want me there, and I was invited to a friend's, but now that friend won't speak to me. I wasn't outright uninvited, but she did privately message me saying it might be best if I reconsider coming as I bring down a room wherever I go. New friends.
Yeah.
New friends.
Yep.
That wasn't Clara, was it? Oh, please tell me that wasn't Clara.
Was it?
I don't think so. There wasn't a name. So today was the last straw. We, as a friend group, were supposed to have brunch, so I went, but it was awkward and no one really spoke to me, so I left early. I got paid today, and I'm considering just Venmoing Hank and hoping they won't ice me out anymore. Do not send that man any of your money, please. And there's an update.
Oh boy. Oh boy. If it was me, I'd probably Venmo and say adios. I've done that before.
You would Venmo that guy after he said that to you? Or like he said that to Angie?
So he doesn't have anything over me? Yeah. Doesn't have anything over Angie? Yeah. So he can't keep bringing it up? Yeah.
Cool. That's fair.
If that's his only pillar to build his house on, or his only, stick to I don't know. If that's his only thing he can lean on and I take that away, then he has no argument.
I guess so. I guess I'm doing
I
disrespect
do it.
math in my head.
I do it.
I guess it's more disrespectful to give him back the money and then be like, this is the last time you will ever hear from me. But then you could become the bad guy again because it's, OP's breaking up the whole friend group over $10 again. It's like, I feel like just ghosting all these people who are, based on what I'm reading, treating you like dirt is your best move. Go make new friends. Except Clara. Keep Clara. Update. I have 5 friends, all in our 30s and 40s. A quick recap. Clara, Bella, Hank, James, and Fred. I had a disagreement with Hank, which I outlined in my previous post, but I can't blame everything on it. I've been suffering from major depression and anxiety, so I'm not my usual chipper self. That is not your fault. I am usually the dependable friend everyone can rely on, but lately I've just not had the energy or bandwidth. I'm estranged from family, so I spend most of my free time with my friends. I love my friends, and they all have such wonderful things they bring to our group that makes it feel whole and fun. Lately, though, they have expressed displeasure with me as I've been quieter and prone to tears. I admit I'm tired and emotional lately. I've lost a great job, my family, and more all in a few months. When mentioning my troubles, Clara and Bella usually would listen more than the others, and when I mentioned that I'm spending Easter alone, Bella had invited me to hers. After having the fallout with Hank, however, Bella texted me that night and suggested I reconsider coming to Easter as our other friends would be dropping in, and she didn't want drama. I asked if I create drama, and she said that I never apologize to Hank and that I, quote, bring down any room I come into. I didn't cry right then, but I wanted to. It just hurt. Crazy twist that now OP is the reliable, dependable friend in the group? And they treat her like this?
If you don't bring value, it's a transactional relationship. It's not unconditional. It's conditional. You have to be this type of person and chip yourself. And if you're not, and you're going through a hard time, that's just not the vibe we want to be around.
Yeah, if you stop providing for the group, if you stop being dependable for the group, we're just like, where's the old you? We want the old you back. This new you sucks.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Ugh. God. I ended up spending Easter alone. I didn't want to ruin the holiday for anyone. Oh my.
That's so sad.
We need some talk therapy, OP. But when I reached out in the group chat and said Happy Easter, no one replied, but they shared photos of the celebration at Bella's. Then this morning at a pre-planned brunch, I arrived. I wore makeup, did my hair, and put on my best smile. I didn't want to bring down any room, so I was determined to prove I could be my old chipper self. But when I arrived, it was awkward. I had made baskets for everyone and handed them out, and they all fumbled thank you, but I could tell they didn't want me there. I stayed only long enough to finish the mimosa I ordered and made an excuse that I had work and had to prepare, which was a half-truth, but I had plenty of time to spare and prepare. Clara was the only one who stood up to hug me and say goodbye. Clara
solid,
is your friend.
Solid.
Clara. She was also the only one who opened her basket and thanked me for the items. I think she was trying to balance the energy. Yeah, it's like you've got one flashlight and then a black hole on the other side of that seesaw. Like, the rest, they didn't even open their gifts?
Guess not.
You made each one of them handmade Easter baskets and they didn't open them? Or say thank you?
OP, gotta catch a hint. I don't think they want you here. It's sad. This is really sad.
Take Clara and start a new group, an even better group.
There we go.
The best group.
There we go.
Oh, man. I got to my car and I realized I left my wallet, so I ran back inside.
It's not my wallet.
Now the whole table's energy was great. They were laughing and talking, and all the awkwardness was gone. I didn't even say anything as I approached, but Hank and James were midway saying something about, God, am I glad she left early. I thought we would have to deal with her all morning. And I just reached and grabbed my wallet and left.
Oh, man.
This just it's got to get better at some point, right? It just keeps getting worse. You know what? It's not going to get any better until you leave this group.
Yeah, honestly.
Man, I'm sitting outside my job in my car trying not to cry. I have tried so many things to try and make my friendships work, but it feels like I fail at every turn. They are the failures.
Yeah.
They failed, except Clara. I know I am not my usual self, but I still want to celebrate and spend time with them. I miss how things used to be. I am just at a loss as to what I should do now. And there is another update.
Oh, boy. Dude, I think right now we already know how it is. I understand that you're in a tough position where you don't have a lot of people in your life. And it gives me the interesting question. Do you have horrible people in your life or no people in your life? She's a depressed person.
I take
no people?
I take no people, but not permanently.
Not permanently.
No one
yeah.
can have no people in their life forever. But like, these people are your enemy.
Yeah.
They treat you like you are their enemy.
Except Clara.
Except Clara. Man.
This is pretty wild.
We have another update, though.
Oh, boy.
Update 2. I'm being called a bigot because I don't want to date my former friend. Am I the a-hole?
Is it Hank? Is it Hank? I bet you $10 that you owe the group that it's Hank.
Yeah, Hank, I bet you $10. So, I posted a lot about my struggles and my old friend group. I can't even begin to think to retype all of that, so it's all in my past posts, but long story short, Hank was in this group. I sent a text in the group chat, quote, "Hey, so I understand from what's been said and done that I'm not adding any joy to this group. It's very clear I am making things uncomfortable and awkward for everyone. I apologize for any harm I have caused since my accident and will not be attending any more group events. I will also leave this chat. I really wish you all well and cherish the time we shared. OP." I left the group chat immediately, but got calls and texts from all of them asking why.
Wow. They know why. They're just trying to save face now.
Yeah, that broke my brain for a second. How do you not know why? Clara, the real
OG.
one, Clara said she understood.
Nice.
And wanted to stay in touch, and that she too was thinking of leaving the group overall.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Interesting.
New group, unlock, you and Clara, tag team forever. James and everyone else was hitting up my notifications like crazy. I took a nap, and Hank showed up at my house.
Uh-oh. With a gift basket?
Was it the Easter bat? Oh, he should return it if he didn't thank you for it.
Or he made you one.
Yeah, a new one. He said he was sorry if he hurt me and said he was mean because of a crush he had on me.
Dude, give me my flowers. I need my flowers right freaking now.
Flowers all around
right
him.
now.
Flowers, editors.
I
make
want
flowers,
them.
Make a bunch of cherry blossoms fall down
Holy
around
cow.
him right now.
I called that from a mile out. That
You
was
did.
3 updates ago.
You're just like, dude, this guy's just annoyed his crush doesn't like him.
I called it.
Perfect.
Dang.
Dude, give it there.
It was honestly a little bit of a long shot, but we nailed it.
It's a long shot. We got there.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. I was so confused. You like me, so you made me hate myself for literally days? Right. Like, what are we talking about?
What?
He's in preschool. He's preschool crush. Yanking on the ponytails. I said I can't talk and to not just show up at my house unannounced, please. He asked me to come back to the group because I'm the, quote, heart of the group. Yeah, because all of you are heartless. What are we talking about?
You had a crush on someone. You wouldn't say, hey, I'm so glad she left. She brought the room down.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And if your friend did say that, you're like, hey, man.
Shut up.
Yeah, like exactly. Like, why?
It's called being a gentleman. It's called standing up for women.
Stand up
This
for
guy's not a woman guy.
Stand up for your friends, dude. Stand up for your friends.
Ugh.
So he told me I'm the heart of the group. And I think my face betrayed me because I gave him the bombastic side eye at how cheesy that was. I said I was tired and needed to sleep and closed the door. Now I'm getting messages about events like, are you still bringing a cake to this? Or are you still going to be my ride to that? I just feel used and alone. I thought maybe cutting away from them would help me feel better, but it just makes me feel worse. I feel like I let down my friends because, as one of them put it, I'm just tossing away the only people who give a crap about me. I don't know. It doesn't sound like that's what's happening at all.
No.
It sounds like you were the glue holding everyone together, and without you, they just realize, oh my God, we all kind of suck. We were just making fun of her.
We have to guilt trip her in order for her to get back. This isn't what friends do.
No, dude.
This is weird.
This is like they're trying. No one's apologizing.
No, it's a transactional friendship.
Yeah, I feel like I let down my friends, which is not true. They let you down because one of them said, "I'm tossing away the only people who give a crap about me," which they don't. They just give a crap about the things you do for them.
They like making fun of you. Yikes! Yikes! This is
At
weird.
your lowest too. It's like you were clearly in some kind of accident. Some event happened that
And-
deeply impacted you.
From this statement, we can tell they're not doing well. 'Cause one, they cannot self-reflect, and two, what's easier instead of owning up, being like, "We want to be friends." They're blaming you and they're putting the blame on you. So you can tell that these people are messed up from the get-go.
Yeah. Quite literally despicable behavior out of this friend group, except for Clara.
Dude, Clara,
Clara, the real one.
love her music. Wait, it's Claro. No. I have
said-
been binging her
I
music.
knew you were
I
going with
love
that, though.
Claro, dude. Oh, man.
Okay.
I kind of want to listen to a
So-
song. I'm going to listen to a song quietly in my ears so we don't get copyrighted.
You gotta listen to your brain. So from there, here is what has happened recently. Since then, I started making some supplemental income on writing recipes for a local organization that sells different cookbooks.
Oh, nice.
A freelance cookbook writer.
Dude,
What a twist.
Learn to do that, post on social media, and then make your own cookbook and send it and sell it.
Yeah, start making your
Infinite.
own cookbooks. It's something I can do in my free time, and I enjoy it. It's a lot to catch up on, sorry, but here's what happened yesterday. I was sitting at a local bar. Fairly, I have to add that it's a known place I frequent, but I was working on recipes for a new cookbook. The staff there know me as I live close and I can walk to them. They also heard some of what happened with my friend group, as I've told the bartender, who asked me why she hadn't seen me with my friends anymore. When I mentioned writing about it on Reddit, she once sat with me while it was slow and read some of it on her phone. Dude, this is a good bartender connection. That's a
This guy
great
loves you.
That's a great bartender connect right there.
Dude.
Anyway, Hank arrived with some of his friends. He announced to the staff that he got a promotion and was celebrating. Woo! Shut up, Hank. He got some congrats from the folks there, and I kept my eyes on my notebook, but I could see him moving towards me. He gave me a really happy hello, and I mustered a smile and said hi, but went back to my recipe. He said he was thinking of me, wanted to know how I'm doing. I said I was fine, just busy. And he asked, with what? I'm a moron, but I mentioned the recipe book I helped write that's already out.
Talk too much. You like to share too much information.
You should
It's one of your skills that you have.
stonewall this man.
I know someone that does this.
What, Stonewall?
No,
Or like we'll just talk to people who clearly want nothing to do with him?
or have treated them wrongly.
Mm.
I have a friend that got treated really bad, and recently they talked to that person. I think it was their ex.
I know
started-
what friend you're talking about.
They just talked to their ex. I'm like, dude, you can like hit the block button, right? You don't have to talk to them anymore. Even if they contact you, you don't have to do that.
Yeah, or you can explicitly tell them, go away, leave me alone. I literally don't think about you.
Like this, you can do that here, right? Right?
That one sentence.
Yeah. I
that
know you want to
person
be nice.
should never call you again
Yeah.
after that sentence.
I know you want to be nice, but just, hey, I don't want to be contacted. But also, this part is you like to share things with people and you're just trying to make conversation, even though it's awkward. Oh,
Yeah, I'm sure I'd be looking at him like his head was on fire. I'm like, are you really talking to me right now? You're just talking to me like everything's normal? Okay. So OP mentions the cookbook. He asked where he could get it, and I mentioned it can be found on Amazon as it was the most popular site. He looked it up. He said he was getting the Kindle version and showed me he purchased it. Thanks, buddy. That's the most useless version, too. Where you're going to read the recipes on the Kindle while you're cooking? Are you crazy? So it's just like an
Wait.
empty purchase as well.
Wait, don't say that.
What?
Some of our people love the Kindle.
No, the Kindle is good.
And some of them use recipes on the Kindle.
For a cookbook? For cooking?
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be so messy. You get the Kindle all messy.
It's like a book.
But it's,
It's like a book, dude. It's like a one-page book.
I know, but it's like you got to like swipe it. You're going to get all your food hands all over the,
It's like cooking with your phone.
I just, whoa.
Literally the same thing.
Oh, dude, you just opened my mind to a whole new universe. Whoa.
You always cook with a cookbook or you cook with your phone?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I got to sit in a cave and reflect for
I
a
also
couple
have
of
a
days.
plug for an app that would be amazing for this, but we're not sponsored, so I can't say that name.
Can't do it.
But it's a really fire app. I can't say it. I'm going to shut up. Sorry. Editor, take out the app part.
Okay. I thanked him and said I hoped he would enjoy it and continued working. He took the hint and went with his friends, and for a while I was left to my work and thoughts. I was happy to have the peace, as I have been working on being alone and being okay with it, and I found some solace in being alone in crowded spaces. I also like that. I think it's cool. I enjoy the sounds of life and don't mind being on my own sometimes. When he returned, he was laughing and had the ebook Kindle version of the book and ordered me another drink, stating, I know I have to buy you a drink for you to want to talk to me, and just laughed. I would, again, not even looking at him.
He wants her to get...
I'm like pushing the
He wants
drink
her to
away.
get drunk so we can talk to her.
I'm not even speaking to this guy. This is insane. I said he didn't have to, and I could buy my own drinks. He kept poking at it, insisting he buy my drink, and then said, all right, I'll buy you two, and asked the bartender to put my first drink on his tab. I was just exhausted at this point and thanked him. He showed me his phone with the book pulled up and went on an at least 5-minute critique of the book.
Lovely.
This is just pathetic that this is a 40-year-old man and he doesn't know how to handle his crush on OP other than being an actual 10-year-old boy about it.
Yeah.
That's insane to me. Like,
this is weird.
I know he hasn't committed a crime, but I feel like they'll lock this guy up.
Feels like a crime.
If you're 40 and you crush on people like a 10-year-old, jail. That's a strong stance, but I'm deeply upset by this man.
Okay. I'm going to find a list of people that fit within that category and that we're going to throw in a jail and you're going to feel really bad about yourself.
Probably would. Just can we only if they're named Hank and they're in this story.
Hank's probably not his real name.
Oh. Just send this one guy away from me.
Yeah.
Just don't want him near me. Okay. So here comes Hank's critique. My cover art was boring. I didn't make the cover. 2 of the recipes were bland and not interesting at all. The images looked too commercial and no one would buy a commercial-looking book. And why are there vegan recipes in it? That's lame and divisive. And that would be because one of the other writers is vegan and we found it to be inclusive to add a couple vegan recipes in. For the price, it's not actually engaging enough and it's not like you're Paula Deen or something.
Okay, real quick. This is my PSA to literally everyone. At a point, you're going to be confrontated. You know what? You're going to make conversation with someone that's a fool. F-O-O-L.
A fool.
A literal fool.
A plumb fool.
And there's one thing you cannot do with a fool, and that's called reason. You can never reason with a fool. In this scenario, this is a fool that you cannot reason with, so do not give them your time or attention.
Put the wall up. Actually put up, if they have some kind of divider you
Here
can
we go,
put
here we
up.
go. 3D, you just stake up.
Yes, it's a portable anti-Hank wall.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, man, oh, man. I managed to stay calm for most of it, but it was the tail end when he laughed at some joke he said, at my expense, that I genuinely don't remember, and then said, how about I take you on a date and I can give you some pointers? You know I'm a good cook. I said, thanks, but I hadn't the time between my jobs and this new gig as a writer. He kept saying, come on, and chuckling and nudging his elbow into my arm, but his laugh kept sounding more odd. I just looked at him and said, you told everyone I ruin everything. I wouldn't want to ruin your time. Fire. He rolled his eyes and said that was forever ago, and the fact that I hadn't gotten over it was crazy to him. I didn't say much else to him other than repeating variations of insults he said about me and how he clearly would want better than me. It was petty, I know, but I kept it going. It wasn't petty enough for me, OP. Honestly, you're thinking, and our friend does this too. Our friend goes, I was mean. Meanwhile, they just had a polite conversation with someone. That's not being mean.
Yeah.
This is a guy who deserves to get a little venom spit at him.
Yeah.
Because he said some horrific stuff to you and about you behind your back.
Please stop giving him your time. Just keep working on your recipes.
He
that
said,
would be great.
When he said, I could take you on a date, I wanted more than anything in my life for you to say, you're the last person on earth I would go on a date with.
Yeah. Facts.
Never ask me that again.
Literally facts.
And by the way, it always keeps going on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and whatever podcast apps you use to listen to podcasts. You can listen to every episode we've basically ever made in our entire lives. Just search the name of our show, OK Storytime, and then listen to them on repeat.
Boom. All day, every day.
We've got some story left here. I don't know if we have any closing thoughts. Get rid of
I called
Hank.
it. I get rid of them. I called it. Find new friends. Seems like you got something going. Keep it up. Keep it up. Literally keep it up. I love this.
Exactly.
I love when people explore new things and it's getting somewhere. Just keep it up.
You're a cookbook recipe maker now.
Yeah, dude, just keep it up.
Exactly. Hank got so angry at me and said to stop mocking him. This is the same guy who told her to self-delete herself, by the way. The very same guy who told her to do that. I said I wasn't. That these are actually things he said were his observations of me. So why be with someone like that? And he agreed, but said, well, then maybe be grateful. I think you're cute. And I thanked him, but was sarcastic. He then said, you're being too sensitive. Grow up. And I just replied, I know. I am sensitive. Why would you want to date someone like that? I'm sorry. Thanks for the drinks. And walked away. I'm getting texts once again from the group, and many of them are saying I broke his heart and I'm a bigot because he's autistic and I clearly look down on him.
That never, what? Where did that come from?
I clearly,
I'm confused.
We have not a lot of information about this guy's autism diagnosis, but I would bet every dollar to my name he's self-diagnosed from a TikTok video. That's what I would bet.
Oh.
I would bet he did that because this guy does not sound like that.
Doesn't
That
sound
is
like fun.
At all.
Yikes.
Sounds like he's like, oh, I can use this as an excuse to just be rude and mean to people? Yeah, I'll do that. And I hate people who do that. This was news to me, so I want to reply and defend myself, but even still, am I the a-hole for being petty and mocking Hank? Nope.
No, you didn't mock Hank. You just told him, no, I don't want to go on a date with you.
And you didn't even tell him no. You were just like, I'm just so busy with my jobs.
Yep.
Like, no, you weren't even mean enough.
And you repeated what he said to you and about you. So you're good. You're good, OP. Don't give this any more of your time.
My best friend uninvited me from her wedding after I refused to pay.
What if I'm broke, girl? Sorry.
I, 25 female, am part of a bridal party for a close friend whose wedding is coming up soon. A few months ago, the maid of honor planned a bachelorette party in another country. From the very beginning, I let them know I wouldn't be able to attend due to financial reasons. International travel and the associated costs just aren't in my budget right now. Everyone was understanding at the time.
Also, I thought.
By the way, this comes from throwaway 3950147. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Angie.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, the bachelorette trip happened recently. And days after the group got back to the States, the maid of honor sent a message in the group chat, specifically one that included only the bridal party members who did not attend the trip, asking each of us to send $300 so the bride wouldn't have to pay her share of the trip. I never agreed to contribute financially to something I wasn't attending. And at no point before or during the planning did anyone say anything about splitting the bride's costs among people who weren't going. If they had, I would have made it clear that I couldn't afford that either. Now I'm feeling really weird about the whole thing. On one hand, I get that people want to treat the bride. And if I'd been a part of the trip, I might have chipped in with the others to cover some of her expenses. But to ask for that money after the fact from people who didn't even go feels unfair and borderline manipulative. I haven't responded to the message yet, and I don't want to cause drama, but I also feel like I shouldn't have to pay for something I didn't attend, especially when I was upfront from the beginning. So am I the a-hole for thinking it's unfair to ask me to pay $300 for a trip I didn't go on? Update 3 months later. I texted the bride telling her that due to financial issues, I would no longer be able to be a bridesmaid, but I wish her the best and would still love to be there for her and attend as a guest. I know, I should have at least called, but I also struggle with confrontation and social anxiety, so I prefer to do things over text so I have time to really think about what I'm going to say. But crap really hit the fan. She told me she's really hurt by my decision, and she felt that she deserved more than a text message. Valid. I agree with that.
Sure. Yeah.
And that she doesn't know where we go from here. Hindsight is 2020, so I asked if I could call her after I got out of work, to which she never responded. I tried reaching out a few more times, and she told me she didn't have time for this drama, which I took as she needed some space, so I decided to respect that. Her bridal shower came and went, and I did not attend because we haven't had any contact with each other since I dropped out of the bridal party. But the drama doesn't end there. I think that you really should have called, which you seem to know, but yeah. You really should have done that.
It is weird, though, that she's just like, oh, I just don't have time for this drama, but it doesn't really seem like a lot of drama.
No, it's just like, I can't be in your bridal party.
It's just like bummer conversation. It's
Yeah.
not like, oh, like, I can't do this because of this and this and this. It's like, it feels like it's only drama if you make it drama, and OP didn't.
No.
Doesn't seem like
I also, if I were the bride and I really wanted OP to be in it, I'd be like, hey, like, let's talk about this. What can you not afford?
Yeah.
Because you're not going on the trip.
Yeah.
Was there something else? Is it the dress cost? And then OP would be like, well, no, they're asking $300.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like
And then
OPS should have called.
we're
but I
gonna
feel like
find
I
out that
would've-
it's a big old miscommunication because the bridesmaid wanted, to go have a big trip in the
in
mountains.
Turks and Caicos.
Yeah.
You see, I like to make jokes that the bride is friends with everyone and their mom because she truly has a lot of friends. And I'm not even being dramatic. Basically, everyone I know has been invited to this wedding, including my own mom and my sisters and my brother and my cousins. But not me. I never got an invitation. That is crazy.
What's going on here?
That is pretty crazy.
That is very weird because if she's friends with everyone,
Yeah.
she's good friends with you, your whole family is going.
That's really strange
When
for
she's
you to be
your
like, I
friend?
can't afford to be your bridesmaid.
Yeah, and then she's straight up like, I don't have time for this drama. I'm just
Yeah.
not going to invite you. I'm not going to talk to you about it.
That's
Like,
pretty insane. I think OP, you need to like push past your, anxiety. And if this is your friend, then you gotta push past that and call her.
totally.
And how can I even apologize now when I'm being ghosted? Also, I'm not even sure if I want to reach out anymore because I don't feel like I need to beg for someone's friendship. It does make me sad that she threw away a 20-year friendship over this, though. And there are some relevant comments. Comment 1 says, based on the post you linked, I don't see how that was the reason to drop out of the wedding party. I would have felt blindsided as the bride, especially if I didn't know anyone asked you to pay for anything. I do agree with that.
Yeah, me too.
OP says, okay, I definitely posted a very watered down version of the story, but basically I dropped out after the maid of honor told us that we're renting a huge house for the shower and we would have to set up for 3 days and that we needed to split everything equally to make sure it all works for the bride. That text came less than 24 hours after I said I was able to pitch in $100 for the bachelorette and not $300, so it kind of felt passive aggressive to me. The house and balloons had us at a $2,000 tab already and didn't include any drinks, food decor, or party favors, so I was really nervous about the budget, and that's when I texted her. I did tell her I wasn't sure if she was aware that we were being asked to pay for everything, and I just couldn't swing it financially, and that's why I was pulling out. So OP did clarify to the bride,
Okay, that's good.
and then was uninvited completely from the wedding, which is wild.
Okay.
I also sent the text back in July, and the wedding is in November. I'm also hurt that one of the other bridesmaids told me she texted the bride and pulled out for financial reasons, and she didn't send any money for the bachelorette, and she's still invited. And the bride was extremely kind to her and said she understood.
I think a game is afoot. I believe that there's some
What?
sort of sabotage happening over here.
She even said that the other girl could just be there for her day of and not pay anything, and that it was offensive because I only threw in $100, which is basically nothing.
What the heck?
What?
Okay, weird. My original theory
Yeah.
was that, like, okay, bridesmaid over here, bachelorette, or maid of honor is like, boo, you're poor, and then is like telling
Yeah.
the bride something totally untrue of what she's doing or saying or whatever, and then just trying to make her look bad. But if the bride is responding that way with
Yeah.
all that, like, I feel like maybe something's just up with the bride.
I don't know,
understand.
man. This is strange. Comment 2 says, how did this bridesmaid go about telling the bride she couldn't do it? Based on information you've given, that has to be the reason the bride is still inviting her and not you. OP says, I'm not exactly sure what the text said, but I know she told her through a text, and then the bride called her, and that's when she said it was offensive that I only gave her $100 towards the bachelorette trip. So she told this other bridesmaid when she was saying, I can't do it because financial reasons.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, no, don't even worry about paying anything. Oh
Yeah.
my God. OP tried to give me $100 though.
Yeah.
So rude. But you
Yeah.
don't pay anything. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, what?
Honestly, I'm so glad that you didn't offer any money.
Yeah, right?
The bride did tell me a few months ago that she only asked her to be a bridesmaid because they used to be really close, but they haven't really been in touch lately. So I'm really not sure what is happening. And another person asks, when did the other bridesmaid drop out? OP says it was between 2 to 4 weeks after I pulled out, and also over a text message. I just don't know exactly what was said. Comment 3 says your family is still going when she treats you like this? Why? OP says, my mom says I shouldn't be friends with her if she's just going to ghost me and just not send an invitation after I tried reaching out a few times, so she isn't going. Props to your mom. Cool
Props to
mom.
Mom.
Mom said, I'm not going if you're not going.
Yeah, this is your friend, not mine.
My sisters have a relationship with the bride. They met through me, but they'll hang out with her on her own, so I feel like their relationship with her is separate from ours. And they say that they're thinking about it, but to be honest, I think they'll still go because they've had dinners with her since then. My cousin also has a relationship with the bride, but feels I'm being treated unfairly, so she also isn't going. The bride is telling the bridesmaids that if it was so easy for me to drop out of being her bridesmaid, then it was easy to drop me as a friend. But it really wasn't.
There must have been something else going on. Like, if none of my ideas right now are like justified.
No, it's okay.
I'm thinking like maybe if OP is closer to the bride than that other broke girl,
Yeah.
then maybe there's more of an expectation of her being a part of
Maybe.
it.
That's
or
what I was
something.
thinking.
Yeah.
Like maybe because they were closer, it hurt more.
Yeah, and even then,
Still
it's like I feel
ridiculous,
like you
though.
should still
Yeah.
understand for sure. Or I wonder like if there have been other problems like this, like if she is already been feeling like OP has been letting her down in other ways somehow and just hasn't voiced it, which
Yeah.
is still she's in the wrong for not voicing it. and stuff.
Literally. Yeah.
So I don't know.
And
but
inviting
this-
OP's entire family.
Yeah, right?
crazy.
Like there's gotta be something else going on.
I stressed so much about sending the text in the first place, and once I realized my mistake, I tried to fix it. Another one of the comments said that she expected more from me because we're close compared to the other ex-bridesmaid. But on the flip side, don't I deserve to be heard out and not just ghosted if we were so close? I can't think of another time in the past 20 years
Oh my gosh.
that we've had anything bad happen between us. So that's why I feel like the entire friendship is being thrown away over this. But also now, when I step back and look at everything I know about her, I'm not sure I should be surprised that she dropped me because she once got into an argument with her own sister and didn't talk to her for 4 years. And she missed her sister's wedding and the first 3 years of her niece's life. Wow. To be fair, though, I'm not 100% sure what it was about, but I know they were arguing about the family finances. All the kids help pay for their parents' home. This girl seems to get in a lot of arguments about finances. You know, I'm just like literally making a crazy assumption here, but it feels like maybe
Yeah.
sister with the kid was
Yeah.
like, I can't afford to pay all this money for mom and dad's home.
Yeah.
And then she was like, well, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you should pay this exorbitant amount. And she's like,
Yeah.
I got a kid. I can't pay that much.
yeah.
That's my assumption of what happened.
I could see that happening.
Yeah.
For sure.
Common Four says, does the bride actually know what the problem was? Because it seems like the financial pressure was coming from the maid of honor, so the bride might have no idea what happened behind the scenes. OP says, I don't know if she knew before I dropped out, but in the text I explained to her all of the things we were being told to pay for, and how there was no conversation about the budget. The maid of honor would just say, hey, this is what we're doing, and it costs X amount, and I just felt like that was unfair. Common 5 says, OP, I genuinely get financial constraints, but you dropped out via text and got upset that the bride wouldn't hear you out and now are mad that you're not invited to the wedding? You hurt your friend and she doesn't want to consider you a friend anymore. That was a consequence of your decision. OP says, it just really hurts my feelings that 2 weeks after I did it, another bridesmaid sent her a text pulling out for financial reasons, and the bride called her to ask her if she would be able to show up and wear the dress and not pay anything. Why am I getting treated differently? The other girl also didn't send anything, but I sent $100 for the bachelorette, and the bride told her that I was disrespectful for not paying the full $300, and I should have just not even bothered. OP on making a mistake when sending a response via text to the bride. OP, I understood I made a mistake when I saw how she responded to my text. That's why I tried to call her afterwards. I was thinking I hurt her feelings, so she needed space, which I gave, but I feel the way she escalated it by not sending me an invitation is really mean when my entire family is invited. Is it wrong to think that since we were so close that I was even asked to be a bridesmaid, that I also deserved a chance to apologize? Or was me sending the text so bad I deserved to be cut off and for her to go full no contact? We both grew up with poor families and had to hustle our entire lives, so she's always been very conscious about finances. But suddenly it's go big or go home, and I just can't. I guess I'll just go home. OP on the friendship with the bride. OP says, that's how I feel. Like, if we were so close for me to even be a bridesmaid, wouldn't you at least hear me out and give me a chance to apologize? But you don't have to apologize if you're listening to full episodes of stories just like this. Because you can just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. And then no apology needed.
No,
You're already
apology
doing
needed.
it.
Yeah.
There is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
I think we know what we need to do here.
Yeah.
Right? We're upset about how she's responding. She might have responded this way because she's upset about how you texted, "You gotta make your friendship move now. And if you want there to be open communication and all that kind of stuff, you gotta just make it happen."
I agree.
Even
I
if
would-
it's even if it's upsetting that the other person isn't doing that, that doesn't matter. You have to ignore that.
If you expected to get another chance because of your long friendship, then even though she's acting like an a-hole and has totally burned you in this scenario, I agree. I think that if you want there to be communication, push for that.
Yeah, you got to set the tone in your own friendship.
Yeah.
For sure.
But there is a little bit left. We also have the same group of friends, and she even hangs out with my family. So I'm not sure how to navigate this going forward because I'm definitely going to run into her at some point. Honestly, I think I would be less hurt if she had totally cussed me out or something, or told me I was uninvited instead of being ghosted and just not sent an invitation. At least I'd have some sort of closure. Truly, yeah, go get that closure, girl.
Yeah.
You don't have to be friends with her after the fact if it really just doesn't go the way that you want, but like try and have that conversation.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's the end of that story.
I'm suspicious of my girlfriend's yoga partner because she deletes their messages.
Namaste in the DMs.
A trigger warning, forced kiss. Her 21 female and I, 22 male, have been together since high school and we have never been with anyone else. Her and I were always very close. We really had no other friends. By the way, this comes from a throwaway, I'm really sad. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. And I'm Angie.
I'm Savannah.
I'm Sophia. And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We just know what we would do in these situations. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, all of a sudden, a few months ago, she became very social. She started making lots of friends at her CrossFit gym and got close with Adam, 45 male. Her and him became partners for a competition together, which required extensive training, sometimes going into the night. And they also became acro yoga partners. Intimate couple yoga. I was never okay with this, and I unfortunately was too nervous to speak up about it. Over time, I hinted at how I truly felt, but didn't tell her that it was not okay with me until a couple of months of this happening. Throughout this time, she and him became very close and texted nearly every day, mostly friendly stuff. I might say he was testing the waters with some flirtatious stuff, but I also could just be paranoid. Eventually, I manned up and told her that I wasn't okay with her being this close to this guy. I told her that she can be friends, but I don't want them texting like this or doing acro yoga together. She agreed to stop both, but not too much later I found out that she was still texting him but deleting messages so I wouldn't see them. She stopped talking to him after I discovered this until she decided to attend his going away party as he was moving away. Luckily, he's gone, but if he wasn't, I imagine they would still be hanging out. Now, to me, this is screaming emotional affair. They did talk about relationship issues at times, but the fact that she is so connected to this guy that she can't stop and hides it from me crosses the line. It's been about 2 months and we have been very distant. I've been away, and we've been sitting with this. She begs me every day to come back, saying that she wants to start over, and now she sees what she did wrong. The thought of losing her hurts so badly, but I feel like I would have no self-respect if I stayed. Am I overreacting about her deleting these texts? Is this worth losing a 5-year relationship over? There is an edit, but what do you think?
Honestly, I mean, I kind of think it's emotional cheating. Like talking about your relationship to like someone else.
Yeah.
Which I do all the time. But I do it to like my friends, not like some like yoga partner.
Someone that like might be interested in you.
Yeah. Someone that like is showing signs of like, I mean, if she wasn't in this thing, I could probably swoop in. Like I would never like do that.
Yeah, and I think it depends on like how often you talk about your relationship problems too. Because if you're friends with someone and like all you talk about is how my relationship sucks, then it's like, okay, especially if they might be interested, then it's kind of just showing that you would just want to break up with that person.
You're giving them the green light, basically. It's like, doesn't seem like she's in a good situation. I can make it better for her.
Right.
Boom. But also, the deleting the messages is really what bothered me.
That would bother me too.
It's like, oh, you don't want any evidence. You are trying to hide something, obviously. That's the reason you delete messages.
Yeah. But we do have an edit here. Edit. Thank you all for the advice. I'm going to try to end it when I get back to town in a couple of days. I'm terrified that I get sucked back in, but I will try not to. And we do have some comments. Comment 1 says, not overreacting, but also, why don't you have any friends who aren't the other? In a codependent relationship that's been together since high school, it makes a lot of sense that the first guy she goes to acro yoga with, how the F did she even find a class like this, suddenly shows her that the world is much bigger than you. If you choose to leave this relationship, make communication and external relationships a priority in your next one. OP says, I have literally 0 friends. This is why it hurts me so badly. OP responds to a commenter about ending the relationship and doing what is right for himself if his girlfriend is concealing from him. OP says, this post has validated me a bit, but before this, I didn't really know if I was overreacting or not. Also, our families are very close. Like, very close at this point, and it would hurt many more than just her and I. Commenter 2 says, dude, that hurt that they may feel is on her. She put her relationship with that guy above yours repeatedly. She lied about it, hid, and continued it until he was gone. Not until she chose you over him, until he was no longer an option. It's only now that he's gone that she's trying to get you back. All negative consequences of her actions are hers to own, not yours. Don't be her second choice just so everyone else feels better. OP says, I honestly want to tell her parents what she did so I don't feel bad about splitting it up. I know that it's probably toxic and horrible, but this is one of my biggest reservations. Another commenter asks, is the acro yoga partner in a relationship? OP says, no, he is divorced.
Ooh.
And we do have an update from 6 days later.
Not the divorce, so he's trying to swoop
Right?
in. That's like his rebound.
Yeah, it kind of rebound with like a
Yikes.
younger girl, probably.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, Riley
mean-
always says this is the CrossFit, environment. It's
that
all
what happened?
Really?
Everyone
I did
starts
CrossFit in
dating?
high school and I was obsessed with it, but I never was like,
Well, I feel
wasn't
like
a lot of dating going on.
Yeah, there are a lot of dating. Apparently,
well,
Riley says
everyone
there's a
was
lot of cheating.
old. Everyone was really old doing
Yeah, well, maybe you
CrossFit.
weren't aware of
Well,
it.
yeah,
'Cause you were a
maybe
child.
if you did it again when you
Well,
were
my-
an adult, then
My
maybe.
high school teacher was the one who got me into it.
Oh,
But
well, I
he-
mean,
no, but he's
I
great,
mean,
though.
I
He
Riley was in it, and I don't think he was doing anything. Else, so like,
Yeah, it's not everyone in
it's not
CrossFit.
everyone. Yeah, it sounds similar to like a restaurant vibe.
Guys, I
where
did
it's
one
like,
competition and I won.
Really nice. I've heard that they're like really hard.
Yeah,
That's
well,
awesome.
what I did was the girl who I was against, I counted how many like reps she did, and I always tried to just do like 1 or 2 more.
Nice.
And I'd be like, ha ha, got her.
Great. We do have an update from 6 days later. She told me I could go through her phone yesterday as there was nothing else that she was hiding. I did, and I found a text to her sister in which she said, I kissed Adam at his going away party, and shortly after, well, he kissed me. This kiss happened 2 to 3 weeks ago. Throughout these 2 to 3 weeks, she has repeatedly reassured me that nothing happened, even kissing, when I asked specifically. She said he ran down as she was leaving to say bye and kissed her. She said that she pushed him off and he instantly left, but I don't know if I can believe that. She said the kiss lasted for 1 second. I hate myself because somehow I still feel bad for breaking up with her over this. She didn't kiss him, he kissed her. She was just naive to his flirtatious behaviors that I warned her about repeatedly. Why should I punish her for what he did? But at the same time, I don't think I can ever look at her in the same way again. I don't 100% believe the story that she told me, and although I'm mostly certain that they didn't have spicy sleep, though I was mostly certain that they didn't kiss too, I feel there was a bit more behind that kiss for her than she describes. She is begging me to try again. We have been together for 5 years, high school sweethearts, and I've never been with anyone else. I've had 0 friends over the past 5 years, only her. OP.
Yeah,
Don't do
that
that.
Needs, that needs to change. You got to get some people outside of your
Totally.
significant other, because
Totally.
if you're just in that, like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I could never imagine. I'd hate my life.
I wish I had a bit more self-respect to just end it. I cannot imagine a life without her. Side question, I'm considering reaching out to her affair partner to let him know how much of a piece of crap he is. Is this a bad call? He knew that she was in a relationship. And there are some comments. What do we think about that one?
I don't think you even need to involve yourself in him. Like, that's
Yeah.
as much as it is, like, that's their relationship, even though it's not, whatever. Like, you don't need to put more stress on yourself. It's not gonna, like, would that make you feel better? Is that gonna solve anything? It's just gonna, like, you know,
because what's
you more
gonna
issues.
happen? Like, is he gonna be like, oh, I'm so sorry, like, you're so right? Like,
yeah,
probably not.
I doubt the guy's gonna react and be like, "Oh my god, I had no idea. She never mentioned you." Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
This stuff, like,
He's gonna get defensive and angry, and you're just gonna get more angry in
Yeah.
response.
it
So,
just-
but we have some comments here. Comment 1 says, have you asked her why she chose to lie to you instead of being honest about what happened from the start? Don't reach out to that guy. That will just give him the opportunity to be rude and disrespectful to you directly. He does not care what you think of him. Opie says she was trying to protect herself. She is aware of it. I am too. I get it. I understand why she wants to protect herself. She said she was planning on telling me eventually, but I honestly don't believe that. Commenter 1 says, protect herself from what? I assume she means from you? Do you have a temper? Opie says, no, absolutely not from me. She doesn't want me to get mad at her. She doesn't want me to break up with her I absolutely don't have a temper and would never lay a finger on her. Sometimes when I get really mad, like last night, I yell. That is the extent of it. Commenter 2 says, in all seriousness, no, you shouldn't reach out to the yoga partner. The one who violated your trust and lied to you is your partner. Reaching out to him will not solve anything. It is a red flag that you do not have any other friends other than her. Mistakes happen, sure, but she chose to lie to you about it for weeks. Do you really think you deserve that? Opie says, I'm a very social person, but I really don't like getting close to people. Not sure why I'm this way, but yes, I do know it's a red flag. I just want to effing hurt this guy. He is an old butt man preying on my girlfriend. It's not gonna happen as he has since moved halfway across the world. I'm just horribly angry. Commenter 3 says, a kiss was forced on her. Not right of her to lie, but she's saying some guy just kissed her with no warning, which isn't really her fault. Maybe she was scared you'd get mad or do something to the guy over a kiss that, in her mind, they'd already moved on from. She still has to go to that gym, and I don't know if he has some influence over the social circle there. It might make her life harder. Plus, she went through a creepy experience, so may not want others to know. She should have told you, though. I think have a conversation about honesty in the future, and ask that she cuts off contact with that guy since he's disrespectful of both your boundaries and relationship. Edit, sorry I missed this, set an update. It's very stupid of her to stay in touch with that guy when you said no. He may or may not have forced a kiss onto her, but then she lied about it. Maybe it's all just one big innocent mistake on her part, but she's gotta learn. And you should consider moving, and she can fix her behaviors up for her next partner. You shouldn't put up with it. I get generally everything, but I just don't like the kind of conversation or the way to talk about it of like, well, you said no, so she wasn't allowed to and she broke the rules. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't like that vibe.
I don't like that either.
I'm gonna stay strong on that.
Don't tell me what to do.
Don't do that. But OP responds, he moved away a day after she kissed him. Luckily, it's mostly cut off. He still sends her Instagram memes, which makes me furious. I honestly don't believe that she didn't reciprocate the kiss. She chose this guy over me multiple times, which leads me to believe that this crush is a bit less one-sided than I thought. Thank you for your advice. Commenter 4 says, how the heck hasn't she blocked him? She is an absolute moron. Yes, of course she liked him, liked the attention, and fostered the affair. That's why he's still reaching out. Do you think if he forced her to kiss him, he'd be sending her memes? He'd be embarrassed and drop contact. I don't know about that. No, he'd send memes due to their reciprocated kiss, which shows him she's interested. I don't know, man. I really don't think that she would lie to her sister about it, you know? Like, I don't know. Maybe she just didn't want to admit to even her sister that she had feelings for this guy because she knows that that's wrong. Maybe she would lie a little bit like that. But, like, let's not forget what the situation would be if it was, like, a forced kiss. He wouldn't think it was forced, first of all, if it was a forced kiss. That guy wouldn't think it was. He would still be interested in, like, having a relationship and sending memes and stuff. Like, he wouldn't be embarrassed. A lot of people force kisses and are not embarrassed because they know what they're doing. Like, let's not forget. But, like, I mean, there still are other issues, but let's not, like, blow past that, guys. Like, come on. Opie says, I am really upset that she hasn't blocked him. Thank you for highlighting the fact that if it was awkward and not reciprocated, he likely wouldn't still be reaching out. I didn't catch that before. Commenter 5 says, the way those two texts play out, that she first says she kissed him, makes me think it's something she had intended to do and he just happened to take the initiative first. I don't believe her pushed away explanation. I'm curious what her sister said in response. Was her sister aware of the context of the kiss being a shared mutual attraction or crush? Did her sister know that you thought their relationship was tainted? If she was honest with her sister about the kiss, what else was she honest with her sister about with respect to this guy that she was lying to you about? Opie says, I know, and that is why I shared both of the texts, because it really seemed like if it was forced upon her, she wouldn't say, I kissed him. That is true. She said her sister was sad because it had been such a long and good relationship. My girlfriend told her that we were broken up at the time, which we weren't. I broke up with her about a week later and then got back together a bit after that. I'm not close with her sister, but we are friends and she's very sweet. And that's the end of that story.
I stopped paying for my friend's therapy because nothing ever improved.
Get a new therapist.
Literally. I, 33 female, have been paying for my friend's 40 female therapy sessions for over a year now. This began because she was going through some hard times. By the way, this comes from user Unexpected African. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, she lost her mother, with whom she was extremely close, in part because she did not have the resources to get her proper care and diagnosis. She lost her soulmate, Kat. Her screenwriting career took a nosedive due to forces outside of her control. And the day job she works to pay the bills while she works on the screenwriting cut her workload and thus her pay in half. She was and still is dealing with tremendous grief and depression. Nothing in her life was going right. Yeah, that is a landslide of BS. A landslide of horribleness.
Horrible. I wonder if this is the writer's strike.
Could be. She doesn't have health insurance. She can't afford it and was paying out of pocket for her therapy sessions since it was the only thing giving her some relief from all the grief and depression. So when her job cut her hours, she was going to have to stop going. And I was genuinely worried about her well-being, so I offered to keep paying for her to go until this script that she had sold went into production and she got a big payout. The producers had jumped all over it and told her that they wanted to start production yesterday. I was in a position to afford the $400 a month at the time. And anyway, it was only going to be for a few months, right? That was over a year ago. I've been paying $4,000 a month for my friend to go to therapy for over a year now because her film never went into development and she hasn't sold another script since. Nothing has improved in her life. Maybe time has helped heal the grief a bit, but I don't see it changing anytime soon. However, I can't keep paying this much every month. Things have changed a lot in my own life, and I'm now in a relationship with the woman that I'd fully intend to spend the rest of my life with. And we have goals and dreams and aspirations, things we want to do. And I could really be putting that money away to better use, as awful as that may sound. I feel like I would be the a-hole for taking away the one thing that has been helping her, but at the same time, she isn't exactly doing much to improve her situation. She refuses to get a different day job that pays more because she insists she has to be able to work from home so that she can take meetings with producers whenever it's convenient for them. But, and I'm sorry if this comes off crappy, she's not taking any meetings with any effing producers. She hasn't in over a year. I feel like at some point she needs to come to terms with reality and do what needs to be done to help herself while things are in a downturn, but she won't. And I don't know how to talk to her about this without sounding preachy and condescending, or without it sounding like I'm telling her to give up on her dreams, which I absolutely don't want her to do because she's a fantastic writer. But I really can't keep doing this. Yeah, I don't think you should make it about her at all.
No, this is your financial situation. Just tell her you can.
Yeah, you just need to be like, hey, I really can't afford to give you the $400 a month. And really, that should be all you need to say.
And it sounds like you haven't updated her at all, so she probably just doesn't know that you can't afford it.
Yeah. And I know it's probably like, well, I can afford it, but I would rather put that money towards this stuff for like the woman I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. It's like, then that means you can't afford it.
Yeah.
Because you need to put that $400 there.
Yeah.
You know? So you just need to explain that. The other thing, the final straw really, was a few months ago when she asked me for nearly $2,000 to pay her taxes. Having just had to shell out for my own taxes on top of getting the news that my entire suspension would need to be rebuilt on my car, I just did not have that money to lend her, and I told her so. She pushed back and said she'd be able to pay me back later this year when she got some payment from the script she sold, but frankly, nothing ever works out the way she says it should. So I didn't trust I'd ever get reimbursed, and anyway, I did not have the money to give, which I reiterated. She came back again the next day and said, what about this much, and I can try to come up with the rest of the money elsewhere? And I said no again. She came back again, and I stopped replying. And she finally took the hint, saying, hey, sorry, forget I asked. You've been paying for my therapy, and I'm so grateful. So if you can just keep doing that, I'd appreciate it.
Okay, so we had a conversation.
Yeah, but this is so weird.
This is, you're telling her and she's just like, no, you can, though, keep paying for this.
No, I can't.
Yeah.
But okay, but can you, it's like a barter.
Yeah.
She's trying to barter you paying her taxes. That's insane.
And then when you can't, but you'll just keep paying that $400 therapy bill a month.
Right.
Like,
She goes, and that's the extra weird part. She goes, actually, forget I mentioned it. Since you're going to keep paying my therapy, I guess that's enough.
Not
so thank
can you keep paying, since you'll keep paying.
Right. Super weird.
Yeah.
So that kind of felt weird.
Yeah.
Like she's kindly saying, well, if you're not going to help me with this, at least keep paying for my therapy so I can deal with life, or something like that. Maybe I just read too much into it. No, you read exactly what she said. The thing is, I have no problem helping her out. I've given her money for bills and groceries when things were too tight. When her mom was still alive, I gave her money for her medications that she needed. I've even given her $20 here and there just so she could get a dang matcha tea every now and again. Because going without weighs on you, and sometimes you just need to be able to treat yourself to something you want. So,
The most you should be doing is little treats. That's the most you should be doing.
We should be tapping out at little treat. Anything beyond little treats outside of my realm of possibilities. So it's not like I'm trying to be stingy or selfish. $2,000 was just too much. And then the way she kept coming back trying to wheedle me into giving her some amount to make it just made me feel gross. Like I'm just a piggy bank she can tap into when she needs it. So now I'm trying to figure out how to tell her I need to stop giving her the money without hurting her or ruining our friendship. But seeing as her life freaking sucks so bad, should I even be considering doing that? I know I'm not responsible for her mental health, which that's not true. You're literally responsible for her mental health right now. You've made yourself responsible for it.
Yeah.
So I know I'm not responsible for her mental health, but if I can help her, shouldn't I be? Am I being selfish if I don't? What if I cut her off and she hurts herself or worse? Would I be the a-hole if I didn't keep helping her? And if I'm not the a-hole, how do I tell her?
You're the a-hole if you keep stringing her along like this, but it's not you should help because you can't help. You have a reason for that money and you can't keep giving it to her.
There comes a time when stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
I used to be able to help you. Now I can't. It needs to be like I'm not helping you because this is like, I hate you or like, I don't like you. It's like, I just can't keep spending $400 a month on your therapy because it feels like it's going to just keep going.
And if she gets worse or if it doesn't change, like if it changes for the worse, it is not your fault that you couldn't keep paying for it. Like her getting worse is not on you.
It's truly not. We have some comments here. Comment 1, this person is an emotional vampire as well as a financial leech. Stop worrying about your alleged friendship with her and focus instead on the parts of your life that you can control, which apparently are looking up. This includes especially your new relationship and the future you two will have. Your new girlfriend may be impressed with how kind you have been to your friend, but as the relationship progresses, and as this friend continues to make demands on you financially and emotionally, your girlfriend's opinion is bound to change. Meanwhile, the negativity that your friend creates around herself and periodically dumps into your space is not good for you. You need to keep her problems and bad energy out of your life. She seems like a professional problem haver, so that's something to consider. I mean, I don't know if professional problem haver is fair for that.
She's got some really just bad luck with stuff.
You can't expect things to suddenly turn around for her. OP says, LOL, yes, my girlfriend has made it known that she doesn't approve of me giving her this money, even if it is a nice thing to do. In fact, when I show her this post with everyone's responses, I'm probably going to get the biggest I told you so ever, LOL. But she has always maintained that it's my money and my friend, and she would never interfere with me doing what I think is right. But she thinks my friend is using me too. As far as the emotional vampire or professional problem haver part goes, you're spot on. I just have a hard time putting my foot down because she has so many problems. I don't want to be yet another one, you know? But in theory, I agree that I need to step away from the negativity. But I don't want to leave her on her own either, you know?
I 100% was going to say if it hasn't affected that relationship yet, it's gonna. And the fact that she's making these little comments that's like, hey, maybe you shouldn't be doing this for this friend. Like, it probably bugs her a lot more than she's letting on. And she's right that she doesn't have say over it, but like...
Right. She's being like, she's trying to give you the hints. Hey, you need to stop doing this.
Yeah.
Where's my $400 a month? Where's my $400 girlfriend check?
Not even that, but like
No,
if you're
I know.
if you're a girlfriend and you're like, hey, my boyfriend is actively giving this other woman $400 a month for something that's not even helping her that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comment 2 is there a reason she sees a $400 an hour therapist? Granted, I have insurance, but out-of-pocket costs for a 1-hour session with no insurance is like $130 according to Psychology Today. Also, tons of offices have sliding scales for self-pay patients. Did she ever ask this therapist if they offer that? I can't imagine having a family member, let alone friends, spend that kind of money every month where there are therapists at a much lower cost. There is an update. They confronted their friend. I confronted my friend. I was fully prepared for her to ask me to go to every other week or try to guilt me, and I had a response about our friendship being contingent on me giving her money ready to go. But to my surprise, she said she understood and accepted my stance because she wasn't going to therapy.
I don't know. We'll see.
By the way, you can go listen to full episodes with stories just like this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search OK Storytime, the name of the show, and you can listen to over 2,000 episodes. We have a little bit more of the story left, and I have a feeling we're not going to find out for sure, but that response was 100%. Oh, yeah, I'm totally fine with that because, you know, it doesn't really impact me because I'm not seeing a therapist.
Yeah, that's what it felt like immediately.
A little while later, she did send a bit of a guilt-trippy text, but I think it was more just her being glum and explaining that she wasn't going to be able to fix her situation. Even if I disagree with her on what she's tried, I still understand her position. But after this, we had a long conversation about random crap we hadn't talked about in months, and it was such a relief to feel back to normal. I'm giving her one more $200 payment, and then I'm done. Okay? Thank you again to everyone who helped me see the light. And that is the end of that story.
My boyfriend wants me to split maintenance costs for a boat I don't own.
That doesn't make no sense.
My boyfriend, 29 male of 6 years, wants me, 31 female, to start paying half of all maintenance costs to a boat he bought at the beginning of our relationship. We use the boat pretty consistently throughout the season, and the current agreement has always been I buy any drinks, food, snacks, and he buys the gas when we go out. 75% of the time, our friends are also coming out with us and giving him either money or adult soda to contribute to gas. For context, it's a 19-foot boat, so the cost to fill up the tank each time is relatively low. By the way, this comes from Glittering Toe 9674 on the r/comfort level pod. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
I'm Riley.
And OP says he's paid off the boat, so normal maintenance cost is minimal year to year. This year, though, he's having to fix a couple of things, which has ended in him spending about $800 in total for repairs. He originally told me $300 for the total cost, so I'd agree to contribute $150. He did not realize the full cost of the special tools he'd had to buy in addition to the kit, though.
Okay. Sorry, I got a boat here.
Let me see this boat. This 19-footer. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Little boat. Little boat.
Nice little 19-footer boat right
That's
there.
not even a pontoon.
Four people.
19-footer boat down there.
As well as the tire on the boat trailer blew, so that $800 cost includes 2 new tires as well. He also mentioned one wheel needs a new bearing, which makes me think he expects me to help with that too. I would be pulling money out of my savings, which are already tight, to cover the new $400 cost of repairs. I also don't know that I fully agree with being on the hook for repairs to a boat I didn't buy and have nothing to gain from when he eventually sells it. Agreed. Pausing. My mom always says that when people buy a boat, the best day of their life is when they sell that boat.
Yeah, a boat's like a hole that you just throw money into.
That's on him. He bought the boat, and yes, you guys are like enjoying the perks of the boat, but that's what happens when you're the owner of the boat. You got to deal with all of the costs of the boat, and it's great that you're helping with gas, which you should be, and snacks and food and stuff. And OP even agreed to help with $150.
That's just the reality of being a boner.
That would be okay. Crazy.
A boat owner.
Yep, got it.
Boner.
It's
that
spelled
would be
BOWNER.
Surly Sunshine is an excellent point. It would be like if I was, I'm driving around a bunch of people, and then I'm like, yeah, hey, can you help me with like car maintenance? That would be crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I just gotta replace my transmission. So could you have like, $2,000 with me real quick?
We could split that. We could split that right down the middle, right, babe? Right, babe?
Yeah. If you
You like
cannot
my car,
afford,
babe, right?
Right.
Right, babe?
If you can't afford to pay for your boat maintenance, then you can't afford boat. That's it.
Awkward Turtle has an acronym for BOAT. Break out another 1,000.
Yup. In terms of our financial situation, We both make around the same amount, with him making slightly more than I do, and split our shared living expenses 50-50. Our expenses are about the same too. Although his only match mine because of his toys. Boat, snowmobile, truck, etc. He's got too many toys. He's got to sell some of those toys. Whereas mine used to be higher than his because of my student loans. I'm inclined to give him the $150 to appease him this time around, but not contribute to future repairs, and as a compromise start covering the full cost of gas in future seasons. I do absolutely love our time on the boat, but honestly don't even know if I should really be paying all of the gas either. You shouldn't be paying for all of it, but you should be contributing to the gas.
A little bit here and there. Couldn't hurt, you know?
This feels like something that was his choice, but he now wants me to contribute half because of unexpected costly repairs. Am I the a-hole? And edit, thank you all for your input. This is definitely the clarity I needed to make sure I was approaching this in a reasonable way. I plan to talk to him about this tonight, and we'll circle back with an update tomorrow. But what do you think, Dakota?
I think it's not your boat.
It's not your boat.
And
You don't pay for maintenance on a boat that's not yours.
if Buddy Boy can't afford the boat,
He got to sell a boat.
shouldn't have bought the boat.
Shouldn't have bought a boat.
Or maybe you should have been good enough at boat maintenance that you don't have to pay somebody for it.
Maybe that was the trick all along. Learn how to do your own boat maintenance.
That is the trick. You can buy expensive toys if you know how to fix them.
Agreed.
Because what makes them so expensive is having to pay people to fix them when they break.
Yep.
So
I don't
if
know.
you can do that.
It'd be nice to know how to fix my car.
Well, you
I
have a
don't.
Toyota.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like the most reliable brand in the history of
Good
mankind.
car. It's a good car. And the car before that was a Honda. It was great. Loved it.
2 of them back to back.
Woo-wee. We had that car from 2006. Are you crazy? Reliable car.
By Japanese.
Okay, well, now this is a sponsorship. No sponsors. I'm sorry. No sponsors.
Do I have to get John back
yeah,
in here?
You do. Give him
It's
a
been
slap
too
on the
long.
wrist. Comment 1. Info, do you ever use the boat without him? You say it's his boat, but between the lines, he might think that you share ownership, even not on paper. I would clear this up with him before paying anything. As someone who doesn't really subscribe to the ideal of legal marriage, a 6-year relationship would imply more shared expenses for me than you or other commoners are describing. I bought my ex new tires for his car after we had been together for 8 years, but not married. I don't regret helping anyone, but again, this is stuff you need to communicate with him about, not really the internet, not the a-hole in your world, but in his and possibly mine, I would kind of think you're the a-hole. But I also understand not wanting to drain your savings on a non-essential. OP says, this is where I was waffling. Because while I don't use the boat without him, he never uses the boat without me. If he does, it's because I'm working, but it's very rare. It's something we do together and has kind of become part of our identity as the boat couple. We both love the water, and as very outdoorsy people, this has become something that we've bonded strongly over. We're also people who don't subscribe to the idea of legal marriage and have had many convos over how to marry without the heavy government involvement, domestic partnerships, etc. I didn't realize they were dating. I don't know if that changes anything for me, but I just didn't realize it. It's an area we're still trying to figure out, but is on pause because we're in the middle of saving money for a house. Separate savings that won't affect my personal savings. So it's a bit of a hard dance between we're in a committed relationship with a promise to marry, however that looks for us, but the boat isn't mine and wasn't my decision. So trying to make the best choice that protects me and my finances, but also makes him feel like I'm contributing in a way that feels equal to the joy I get out of his boat. Comment 2, not the a-hole, you don't owe him any money for repairs, and at most you should only contribute 50% of gas if he contributes 50% of food and drinks. You don't own the boat, it's not your responsibility for any financial cost involved in maintaining or repairing it. Like you said, you won't get any monetary comeback if he sells it, because it's legally only his. It's like with cars. You don't go paying to repair a partner's car just because you're sometimes a passenger in their car. He decided to buy the boat. He owns the boat. You can either go halves on gas and food equally, but that's all you'd be morally expected to pay. Just like his friends only contribute towards fuel or food because they don't own the boat either. There's no difference between you and his friends using his boat to go out together, but he's not asking them to contribute to repairs, so why would you be expected to? Don't let him take advantage of you. If you want to give the 150 pounds you mentioned, you can if you want, but make it clear you won't be paying any further contributions towards repairs in the future. You don't owe him anything towards repairs. If he can't afford the repairs he needs, sell the boat. And there is an update, but yeah. Any other thoughts?
Catch 22, when the boat needs repairs, you can't really sell it.
That's true. That's true. There's a little bit more to this. There's an update, folks. There's a lot more to the story.
The boat incident. There's got to be a fun name for this story. Like, remember the boat?
The boys in the boat.
Boys in
Remember the boat.
But I think that I think that it is, I mean, it's relevant information that you guys are together and have been together for a while. But I do think that the car analogy is a really good point. It's like you wouldn't expect your partner, who you're not married to, especially, to pay for your boat.
That really
for
is
your
like the
car.
big thing here is y'all aren't married.
Yeah.
You
You're
didn't
not
co-sign on the
financially
boat.
You're not
you
financially
didn't
tied
push
together.
him to buy the boat. There was no agreement beforehand that you would be paying for this. It's kind of just lame of him to expect you to pay for it.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, hey, could you maybe help me pay for half of these and I'll pay you back? He's like,
Exactly.
well, it would just make sense if you did this because it's
It's
only
the
fair.
expectation.
It's like, what?
Mm-hmm. And also, there was this expectation was not set before. It was just kind of like after the fact. But there is an update, folks. Oh, no. A few of you mentioned that he might be seeing the boat as something that's ours, not just his. And it turns out you were right. He stated that as a couple who've been together for almost 7 years, he didn't view the boat as his, but ours. Even though I'm not on the title and didn't buy the boat, he'd only plan on selling it to use as a down payment for when we buy a boat together, which we have talked about previously as a down-the-road goal when we are both financially ready, or if we needed to, sell it to put the money towards buying the house, since we're in a rent-to-own situation. Obviously, we're not planning on buying a bigger boat anytime soon, but where he was coming from makes more sense to me knowing he was viewing the boat as a shared asset, not something he's going to sell for his personal gain. I, of course, still did not like the way he had originally approached the conversation, as though he expected me to help contribute, even though we'd never discussed me helping with repairs before. He understood the disconnect and was able to see why I felt caught off guard, and we agreed that moving forward he will discuss any big purchases with me before doing anything to make sure we're both on the same page. We've encountered situations like this in the past, but the lines have always been clearer, as there are obvious areas where we'd both be contributing financially, like buying things for the house we both live in or our pets. So with all of that being said, I have agreed to pay half of all routine maintenance costs that the boat requires annually, but will not be paying for any kind of boat repairs, so I'm helping with gas, oil changes, slip fees if we decide to do that, etc. We've written these out so I know exactly what I'm committing to financially, and also outlined that he won't be selling the boat down the road simply for personal financial gain, but only to put towards our shared interests.
Well, yeah, I think if you sell the boat, half of the profit of the boat sale is yours.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm glad that they're like figuring all of this out now. You know, they're writing it down, getting it all hammered out, all the
Well, I
details
don't think they're
hammered
doing
out.
that. I think
not
from the
writing it
sounds
down?
of
I
it
thought-
that it's no, I mean they are writing it down, but I don't think that OP is getting half of the boat profits.
No. Yeah. But I do think it's good that they're putting it all down. I'm fully aware that there's nothing stopping him from selling it whenever he wants, but I've ensured that the money I'm committing to each boat season is equal to what I get out of going out all of the time. So in the worst case scenario where he broke this agreement, I wouldn't feel cheated out of anything financially, although I'd obviously be upset for a whole separate set of reasons. I've also paid him the $150 I originally agreed to as well, because even though he said the money really doesn't matter to him, he has no problem covering the full cost. It was more of an assumption on his end that I'd be pitching in, which, stop that. No assuming financial things. Let's talk it out. Be clear. I'm not someone to go back on my word. By the way, you guys shouldn't go back on your word about listening to full episodes of stories just like this.
Yeah, you promised. We heard you.
Promised. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
You got a nice boat.
You got a nice boat.
Hey, nice boat.
Got a nice boat.
Nice boat.
And you
Make sure you
communicated-
always tell him how nice the boat is.
Mm-hmm. Because he liked that boat.
Because it's y'all's boat now.
Mm-hmm. You got shared boat assets.
Say, we've got such a nice boat. We love this boat.
Yeah.
Our
really hammer
boat-
that in.
Our boat, so good.
See when he breaks.
I love being a boater.
But there's a little bit left to this story. All in all, it was a really good learning experience for both of us, especially because finances are a big pain point for me. My ability to feel secure and safe is directly linked to finances and always being able to take care of myself independently. So him dropping this on me the way that he did definitely caused a spiral with me thinking it was my worst nightmare coming true. Him thinking I'm a user, that I owe him, etc. So it was relieving to hear him explain this wasn't a big deal to him, how he viewed the boat as a shared asset, and that if this was going to be a burden to me, not to worry about it. Overall, feeling a lot better and no longer afraid that I'm a freeloading cockroach. And that's the end of that story, folks.
A freeloading
Communication.
cockroach.
Communication, folks.
I'm not liking that automatic assumption that you're a freeloading cockroach, though.
Yeah,
Not
you got to work
great.
on that. That's communication. Say like, why was that your first thought?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of guys are freeloading cockroaches without the roach part.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Sure.
Just gearing people up for that
Sure.
stream next week.
Oh, no, it's this week. Yeah.
Well, anyway, I demanded my partner to pay when we're out together, and he took offense.
He took the whole fence?
This comes directly from the r/OK Storytime subreddit, by the way. I'm 28 female, and the guy is 31 male. We met at work and were immediately attracted to each other. He's from another state and was living in an Airbnb. He doesn't have a car, so he takes the bus to work, and I live an hour away from the workplace in a different city. When we started talking, he mentioned that his Airbnb was in my city near my apartment, so naturally I was curious since my apartment is an hour away. By the way, this comes from Desperate Target 8380, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. And I'm Angie.
I'm Dakota.
And I'm Keon.
And OP says, after 2 weeks of talking, he asked me to show him around the city because he was new. I initially was apprehensive, but I agreed. I took him to my apartment and let him sleep on my couch. At this time, I also had plans to leave my apartment and didn't want to pay $2,000 to break my lease, so I had the idea of letting him take over my lease. He agreed, so I asked him to pay rent at the beginning of the month and said that I would leave immediately if he made the payment. He said he would pay me when he got our paycheck, or when we got our paycheck. We got paid weekly, so I agreed. When he didn't make payments at the beginning of the month, I decided to pay the rent since it was due. Then I told him, since he didn't pay me yet, I would move out in the middle of the month so I had time to move my stuff without rushing. I told him he could pay half and I would leave when he paid his share, so it would be half and half. Rent is $1,500, so he would have to pay $750, not including electricity, which I already paid for. When we got paid again on the second week, he only paid me $400. I thought maybe he was behind, but that was okay. He promised to pay me the rest the next paycheck. He was now living in my apartment, and I was driving us to work every day and driving us around town. I bought the groceries and cooked for us and packed his lunch. While all of this was going on, our relationship got closer and we became intimate, and he expressed that he loved me. I thought we were getting closer to a relationship. I told him I wasn't into guys who vape or smoke devil's lettuce because I don't do those things myself. He told me he would quit if I agreed to be his girlfriend. I didn't respond, but he stopped doing those things anyway, so I thought maybe I should give him a chance. The first time we went out to a restaurant, the check came and I paid, thinking he still needed to pay me the rest of the rent, and if he paid for the check, it would take him longer to pay me. The second time we went out again, I paid again. I didn't mind, but I had never paid for anything in my past relationships, so the feelings were weird and I didn't understand it at first. Third time, I paid again, and I felt weird, but I didn't understand it. At this place, he tried to touch me and kiss me, but I pulled away. After thinking about what happened, I realized that I got the ick from paying for something when I'm with the man I'm seeing. It makes me feel less feminine. I didn't know this because, like I said, I had never paid for anything when I was with my man in the past relationships. Later that day, I brought it up to him. I said, when you tried to touch me and kiss me at this place and I pulled away, it was because I felt an ick. And it's from paying for stuff lately, and I didn't realize or understand it at first, but now I just realized it. The reason is it made me feel less feminine. So from now on, I'll let you pay, and if you're not comfortable with paying, we will pay for our own stuff or you pay and I'll wire you the money. The action of paying in front of a man I am with gives me the ick and makes me feel less feminine. He instantly shifted his energy and I felt it. He left the bedroom and went to sleep on the couch. The next morning we had an argument. He said from his perspective, he thought that I was making a nice gesture by paying and all that was fake since I brought up the conversation. I told him no, it wasn't fake because I actually wanted to do it. It's like wanting to give a man a massage at first. The first time it's great, comes out of wanting to do something nice, but then the third and fourth times I realized that I actually don't like giving massages and changed my mind. He didn't take it very well and was still caught up on the idea of me being fake because all of those times that I paid, he thought it was a nice gesture that I was doing for him, but now it's all fake. Mind you, I never said that I regretted paying those times. I said moving forward, we would do it differently because I just now realized that I actually don't like doing that. Then he brought up some random dude losing his job and his wife going and talking behind his back about leaving him. Then he had the audacity to talk about women leaving their husbands the moment their husband no longer has a stable job. Why is this coming up? This conversation just pushed me to my limits because how can he compare me to a woman I don't even know or care about? Then he went on about women being shallow and just using men for money. I'm shaking my head even writing this. For the next 3 days, he wouldn't let it go. He would rub it in my face whenever we went out. For example, I was talking about going to this one place that has really good food, and he said, "Oh yeah, I went there with my friends and they paid for me." And one time I was asking if he was going to take out his wallet to pay, and I'd pay him back. He said, "I'll pay. I wouldn't want you to feel less feminine." Or he would say things like, "I don't care about money as much as you do." Even though I told him multiple times it's not about money, it's the action that gives me the ick.
I'm going to say something a lot of people aren't going to like probably.
Say it.
Because I used to be a guy who's like, I don't care about money. Money doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I said that to cope with the fact that I had no money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Money is important.
Yeah.
We've replaced hunting and gathering
Right.
with gathering money
Exactly.
to buy things you need to survive.
Exactly.
And it's not always a fair system. I don't think billionaires should exist, but
Sure.
you should be striving to make more money if you can't pay your girlfriend the rent that you owe.
Right. Right.
You need to be like, I need more.
Yeah.
More money, me.
Yeah. Like if you don't care about money, then pay the rent that you're literally living in her apartment and not paying for it.
You're a bum.
Yeah. Come on,
And if
man.
you don't have any ways to make more money, you need more skills to make more money. And the way that you get
Yeah.
more skills is you develop them.
Yeah. You do things. Everything costs time or money, dude. If you don't have money, you gotta spend time
You got
doing
to spend
things.
the time.
Spend the time. We would argue about the same thing for 3 days straight because he refused to see where I was coming from. I'm a traditional woman and grew up with my traditional culture of a man taking care of their women. He still thinks that I'm in the wrong for thinking that my man should pay when I'm with him, and if he can't afford it, I'll transfer the money. He said a woman can do things that are nice gestures for a man. Yes, I can do nice gestures and buy things when my man isn't with me and I'm out by myself. If he isn't with me while I'm out, I can buy him coffee as a nice gesture. I have done that for him. It's only when I'm with him. Then he said, me saying I feel less feminine when paying is like setting a condition to the dynamic of the relationship. He said, it's like saying I'll only feel feminine if a man pays for stuff. Then he continued asking, what if a husband said I'll only go to work if my wife is spicy with me? And that was a stupid comparison. When I brought up all the time I cooked and packed his lunch and asked if that wasn't enough nice gestures for him, and what more does he want from me, I just instantly got the ick and decided to move out completely so that he could take over the lease.
There you go. The ick has spoken.
I would never get the ick if you listen to full episodes with more stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime.
Yeah.
There is a little bit more to this story,
yeah.
but yeah, I feel like that's a good... this is the ick that we are speaking of.
Yeah,
the
man.
ick that decides the breakup.
I'm sorry that this guy said I love you. I feel like this guy's been trying to, from the sound of this story, manipulate you the whole time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are times when it's like people who are overcome by feeling an emotion would be like, mon chéri, I love you, like
Yeah.
before y'all are even dating. But it really felt more like well, I need the security of having my rent paid for, so I love you and we'll live together.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I got $400 on rent. And I'm not gonna, and I guess I'm just not gonna pay the rest of it ever.
I guess.
And also 3 meals paid, please. I don't know.
I just don't. These people just don't seem right for each other. So good thing they're breaking up. Good thing.
Break up.
Finally, my last straw was when I was leaving. I was giving him one last chance to make it up by cooking him one last meal, but we again had the same argument. At that point, I was completely fed up, so I went off on him. I told him I'm not the girl for him, and he isn't the guy for me. If he wants a girl that cooks, packs his lunch, cleans, and pays his bills, then he needs to find a girl that is willing to do that and can't expect me to change into that. He keeps saying that he wants a girl like me as his wife, but he isn't willing to put in the effort to be the man that I need. Make it make sense. I told him men want a traditional wife, but aren't willing to be a traditional partner.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nikki Wolf in the comments says, we don't do wifey stuff for a man that doesn't do hubby things in return.
Exactly.
Yes.
If he wanted to be a princess in a relationship and have women take care of him, then he needs to find one that will do that for him. I packed up all my stuff and left and told him that we were done. He called me a knucklehead, and now that I've calmed down, it makes me wonder if I'm really a knucklehead and if I was being unreasonable. So please tell me, am I the a-hole? And what's our answer, Dakota?
No.
No.
I mean, like, depending on how that, like, you gave me the ick conversation went, like, you might have not been the most, like, tactical.
Sure.
But, like, it's not an a-hole thing to just be like, yeah, you owe me money. I feel weird paying for our meals while you still owe me rent.
Exactly.
And it's like not, it's a reasonable, it's enough money where it's like you could go get a job at DoorDash and make that in like a couple days.
Right.
My daughter lied just to get on a school trip.
Was it a fun school trip?
Better have been. So I, 34 female, and my husband, 35 male, have a daughter, Iris, 13 female.
What? You don't like irises?
Bad history.
Uh-oh.
That's my ex's name.
Yeah, I remembered. After I said it, I remembered.
Well.
So this girl's automatically the a-hole.
Yeah,
She's
the 13-year-old.
It's your fault. Just wanted to go on a school trip. We are honestly not well off at all and get by with lots of sacrificing and budgeting. Still, we do our best to make sure Iris has all the extras she needs. We buy her art supplies, we pay for her to go out with her friends, etc., etc. All within reason. I am willing to give more details on this if needed. By the way, this comes from Throwaway Money Trip. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Savannah.
I'm Sophia.
I'm O'Reilly.
And we are here to give some good advice goofily. But we do not have all of the answers. We'd only tell you what we would do in this situation, but we would love to know what you would do in the comments. As OP says, Iris's school does school trips every once in a while. She has one coming up, an overnight trip to our nearby city where they can see the sights and visit historical monuments.
Sick.
Never have I ever been on a school trip that's been like overnight.
Oh, I did one on a ship.
A ship?
Mm-hmm.
What, like the Queen Mary?
No.
Oh.
We went overnight on a ship about an hour south from here and pretended like we worked on the ship. And I picked the best option. Everyone else had to do a night shift, which involved 2 hours where they had to be completely silent and just look out at the sea because we were docked. And I picked galley crew, which just meant I woke up at 5 a.m. and I got the best food. It was great. I had a great time.
I could not last 2 hours just staring.
I know.
And
Yeah,
not
you
talking.
probably couldn't.
You couldn't talk, and we were 10.
Oh. I mean,
no, we
well,
might have been 12. But
believe it-
regardless.
Can you be like, oh, what's that?
No.
And then the other
They-
person's like,
they
oh,
got
that's just
yelled at.
water.
They got yelled at
By
if they
who?
talked. By the teachers and by the
They
like
got
the
slapped
people
with
working.
fish.
Maybe
like
they
the
should have got that
parents.
thing out of their butt, that stick.
I know.
Yeah, they probably should have got that out.
Thing.
My mom went on the trip with me. It was fun.
I went to Washington, D.C. with my dad.
I was gonna go. We were supposed to go to Washington, D.C., but then there was a bomb threat, and so
Oh.
we didn't go. And I was like, okay, we're the only ones who didn't go. Guess what? The
No
bomb
one-
never landed.
No one else was scared of the bomb.
Guess what? No one got bombed. Who? I am not being specific on purpose. However, it does cost quite a pretty penny. When Iris told me about this and asked for the money, I told her we were very sorry, but we did not have the money for it. She seemed quite upset, so I told her maybe the three of us could put our heads together and think of a way to raise the money before the deadline for the trip.
Smart.
I was thinking maybe a bake sale or something. Perhaps she could sell some of her art or do commissions. She huffed at me and told me she would get the money herself and just walked away.
Is she gonna steal the money?
Okay, 13-year-old.
Is she gonna pull off a heist?
She probably knows how the credit card works.
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh.
Well, I do now. I didn't at 13.
How long did it take you to figure out a credit card?
I don't know. There wasn't like a point in my life where I'm like,
Credit card.
I just like broke my finger just now.
I heard
Anyone
that.
that was bad.
No,
Ow.
but when did you get one?
Savannah
when I
hasn't
was
even figured out how to snap.
16. I think when I was 16, but like I could only use it for like specific things.
That makes sense.
And I never use a credit card. I mean, I have one, but I never
Really?
use it. Yeah, people are like, you should use it. You should use it.
Yeah,
But
you
I
should
just-
build up your credit.
Well, I did for like that entire. My mom like would put one in her name and my name, build
you
up
have to
the credit,
keep building up
and
credit.
then well, see, I just don't because it makes me scared. I don't know. I just rather just take it right away.
You just have to pay it off.
It scares me.
You could pay it
There's
off
like-
right away.
Yeah, there's like actual things that are a debit and credit card. So like if you have the money, it acts like it's a credit card, but it's actually a debit card.
You should definitely work on your credit because that's how you get other things like cars and houses.
But see, I just want to pay it all right there.
You can.
Yeah,
you
you
could
can.
buy something and then immediately pay it off.
Oh,
I mean, I don't know. Like whenever you pay rent, you just pay your
Yeah.
credit card at the same time.
I've avoided paying rent for 28 years of my life.
Good for you.
I know,
Well,
look at me.
that's gonna end.
Here is where I may have made a mistake. I did not follow up with her at all. Honestly, it slipped my mind, and I work long days, so it was not really a priority, especially since she did not bring it up again. I guess I just assumed that she had given up and decided not to go. I did still set aside a small portion from my paycheck just in case she was working on something, even though I did not really expect anything. But 2 days ago, she came up to me and told me she had the money. I was shocked and confused and firstly assumed she must have sold some of her things, and I was ready to scold her about not talking to me first. But the reality was worse.
Uh-oh.
I asked her how she got so much money, and it turns out she literally went and begged to everyone she could.
Oh, dang. Oh, that is pretty embarrassing for you.
Oh. Her friends, parents, her art teacher, literal people on the street.
She was busking, but I guess just begging?
Oh.
Maybe she pulled out a little.
Yeah, was she at
Guitar.
least entertaining?
Yeah, she was like, please, please, please give me money.
For my trip. You know,
Please,
I don't give
please,
money to
please.
people begging unless they perform.
That sounds messed up.
What? No, it's not. It's like you do something for me, I do something for you.
That does
Savannah,
sound messed up.
Entertain me, they're gestures.
That sounds messed up. It
Honestly,
keeps getting worse.
I like that. I might have to do
Whoa,
that.
whoa.
Right?
I don't
If you're
agree
just
with
gonna stand
this.
there and hold a sign and I have to feel bad for you, I want to look away. I'm scared. But if you're like juggling, I'm like, oh my God, here's my money.
Time out.
That sounds messed up.
Do you carry cash though?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay. Well,
Because I do babysitting on the side, they usually pay me in cash. So I usually have
that's fair.
a good amount.
I don't agree with that morally.
I think. Well, do you carry cash?
No.
When's the last time you've handed out anything?
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
but
So
I don't
maybe-
agree with handing out.
Maybe you should like look out for those opportunities where people are performing on the side of the street and give them some money.
If
Yeah.
I carried cash, I would.
If
but
they're
I
like
don't carry
performing and then
cash.
like they get paid for it, they're gonna be like, oh, wait, I can get paid
Yeah,
to do
it's a
this.
Oh
cycle.
my God, I was just with Savannah and there was a man playing an accordion and she did give him money.
If you're doing something talented, I'm going to reward you.
I gotta
Everyone
start
should be
carrying
rewarded for
cash.
doing art.
I don't carry cash because I don't like carrying cash. It makes me scared.
It's just like, you know, you could just give me a compliment and I'll give you $10. Like, I don't know.
I'm sorry, Sophia. That makes me remember that one time I asked if you wanted 10,000 in cash or
No, I
10,000
don't
in a
want.
check.
That's too much in cash.
And she thought it was gonna be a duffel bag
yeah,
of cash.
I thought I was getting a briefcase of cash.
How fun.
Apparently, I was just getting a stack of cash.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, not that much.
Scary.
not as cool looking.
What am I gonna put that?
Scary.
Buy a
I-
safe.
I wanted a briefcase.
Yeah.
She apparently told them we were extremely poor and could not pay for her trip, which is not true.
Well, you couldn't pay for it.
Well, not okay. So she exaggerated
Yeah.
and put extremely on it.
And that's called using your words in an effective way. That's called, what is the word?
Using your money in an effective way.
That's called marketing. There we go.
Yes, sure. We are not in poverty. We keep her as comfortable as we can. She has never had to worry about meals or the heat turning off. She just guilted them all into giving her money. What?
Oh, Russell W. Boss says,
Oh.
thank God Sophia's here. Show's moral background.
Why would that not be moral?
Thank you for the $5.
Huh? See, we're performing. You're giving money.
Yeah, but we're not begging.
Hypocrite.
We're performing. We're entertaining. We're actually contributing.
Well, if someone's playing the guitar, technically they're not begging. Their case is just open. You can just do something if you want. Not saying, give me money. Well, maybe they could be.
They
but-
could be
No,
saying
they're not.
that.
They're not.
I need $1. $1 is what I need. That's a song.
Could be.
I ain't saying she a gold digger. They could be singing that.
I was appalled and extremely embarrassed and told her that was completely unacceptable and she had to give all the money back and that she was not going to use that money to go on the trip. I wanted to say she could not go at all now, even if she got the money in an acceptable way, but my husband said that was a little strong. He fully agrees with me on not using the money she pretty much stole, though, and when she went crying to him about it, he sided with me fully. She started crying and shouted at me that the deadline was a week away and that she could not get the money again in just a week. I told her that was really sad. And maybe if she had made a plan with me weeks ago, we would have been able to get the money. But for now, she has a week to come up with it. She stormed upstairs to her room and has been sulking since then.
I feel like she's gonna rob a bank. I think it's only gonna escalate.
I hope. My 13-year-old robs bank. How fun. I'd be like, good for you.
Yeah, update. My 13-year-old
Philanthropist.
just came to me and she robbed a bank.
My 13-year-old robbed a bank. Am
Honestly,
I the a-hole?
That's surprising if they get away with it too.
Yeah.
That's
She's just so
pretty.
good.
Like you're onto something in this
I
day
know.
and age. Come on.
She's already raised
You
the
can do
money
it.
herself.
Give him the puppy dog eyes.
Yeah.
So am I the a-hole for telling my daughter she could not use the money to fund her trip even though she came up with it herself?
No, she needs to learn that she can't just go beg people for money. But maybe you as the parent should have worked with her a little bit
Yeah,
prior.
dude. This sounds like a. Oh my gosh, what is that? Tell Beaver? Tell it to Beaver or Dennis
Tell
the
it to
Menace?
Beaver?
Who's
This feels like a Dennis the
Yeah.
Menace kind of moral lesson.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Dennis, you can't just beg people for money
You
on
have-
the street.
You have to work for it.
It did specifically say she was begging people on the street, right? I didn't just make that up.
Okay, so what's the difference? Let me quiz your
Let her
mind.
cook. Let her cook.
Let me cook your brain
Okay,
for a
okay.
second. What's the difference between begging for money and doing a bake sale?
Begging for money,
I know the answer.
you're not, I mean, you don't have you're not providing
A product.
a product.
Oh, you're not providing.
Yeah.
The satisfaction of a good smile.
Usually when you are begging for something, it's because you don't have the means provide a product.
So it's better to provide a product. So then,
But you don't have the means to provide the
Oh.
product.
well, but I'm saying, actually now I'm just coming up with ideas to beg for money and I shouldn't. I have money. But now I'm thinking like,
It's not a good look if you go around for us, for our company, if you're like, I gotta beg for money now.
I'll give you a nice little wink.
That was a
Give
terrible
me.
week.
I have a sty in my eye.
You might get a wrong impression from that.
Yeah.
Aw, they're gonna think I'm swifty with my ways. They're gonna think I'm a little swifter.
What are the comments?
Comment number 1. OP, the first 18 years of your child's life are an audition for the role you'll play in their adult lives. That's like, what do they call that?
I don't know.
Philosophical. There it is. Got to it. Took me a little time. Philosophical. I have a feeling you're not going to get the part you want. I think you owe your daughter an apology.
Whoa. I don't know if I completely agree with that person.
I mean, I would, if I was in this situation, I'd be
Yeah.
like, okay, good for you for finding out a solution to get money, but
Bad
going
solution.
forward, you cannot do this because you're
Yeah.
technically lying because we do have money. We just can't do it right this minute.
Yeah. I am telling her that she needs to return all of that money. Because that,
Oh.
you know.
No, I keep it.
What? If you, I don't think that's a
she
good
did it
lesson.
her way.
Yeah, but she was begging people.
I would just tell her not to do it again. I'd be like, okay, you can't do it again. And then if she does it again, then there's consequences.
Personally, I would tell her she had to give it all back. But that's just my parenting. And
I'd be
Savannah's
like,
got a
"Did you
totally
juggle?"
different technique. Did you juggle?
Did you juggle or sing?
I think she has to go back and juggle for all of them.
Yeah, just be like, okay, my mom wants me to.
God, my mom wants me to juggle again.
Can I keep your $5 or what?
Yeah, did you like it?
Comment number 2. So basically, you're punishing your daughter because you failed as a parent.
Oh my gosh, these comments are so much harsher than I expected.
OP says, call it that if you want, I guess. No wonder America's literacy rate is so low. I am not disagreeing that I should have followed up with her.
I agree.
However, she's almost in high school and should know to follow up herself as well, especially when it's something that's so important to her. The reply says, I should have followed up, but she's almost in high school. You're a fully grown adult, by the way. And she should follow up since it's so important to her. She should have known better. She should have talked to me. Jesus effing Christ, do you hear yourself?
I don't understand this line of thinking, but okay then.
I mean, I don't think that, like,
I don't think OP is in the wrong.
yeah, I don't think OP is in the wrong for wanting to, like, teach your child, like, no, you
Yeah.
can't just beg for money when, like, you know, that's technically lying. Like, that's how
Yeah.
I see it. It's like lying.
I think,
you
yes,
shouldn't
she
do that.
should have followed up with her, but I don't fully agree with these comments.
Yeah, I think if, you know, what if the daughter came up and was like, hey, mom,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask people for money. Is that cool? Then she'd probably be like,
No, let's not do that.
OP responds, I'm going to be fully honest here, since I'm kind of sick of having kid gloves on. I do not believe this part specifically was solely or even majority my fault, considering this was so important to her, and I genuinely don't doubt that. I'm shocked she didn't follow up with me. I told her, let's make a plan. She said no and went off on her own. I am not saying that blame is completely absent from me, but when you work 80 hours a week, things slip your mind. I don't understand why this is so difficult for people to get. Following up was partly on her, since this was a very big deal for her, and I'm shocked that people think the blame is 100% on me for not chasing down my almost high schooler to figure out a plan that works for her. The trip is important to me because it's important to her. I have no other interest in that. Edit. Since people are missing this, if she had just said we could not afford the trip and asked for donations, I would have been okay with it, even if I still did not think our financials should be public knowledge like that. She did lie and guilt people by telling them we could not afford dinner many nights, so she went to bed hungry.
Oh my God. Yeah, you need to give that money back because
Okay.
people are going to be showing up at your door with like cans of food.
Yeah, lasagna.
Yeah, they're like, we
And
heard,
lasagnas.
and we just feel so bad.
Okay, if she lied about, like, you know, we're living in squalor, then
Yeah.
yes, I'd be like, okay, you cannot tell people that because that's a big deal. People are going to show up to her house.
Yeah.
CPS might be called on me now. Like, that is a bigger deal than just...
Isn't there an episode of Malcolm in the Middle where the kids,
Yes.
one of the kids lies and
Yeah,
then
it's
they
Dewey.
have Dewey lies and then they start having a
and
whole
then they start
like,
having a whole
food
thing. And then the dad
drive.
gets involved because he
Yeah.
found out and he's like, no, but then he sees all the stuff they're getting. They're like,
Yeah.
okay, well, wait.
Your daughter is Dewey from Malcolm in the Middle.
I love that episode.
Malcolm in the Middle is such a good show.
Oh my God, I just like watched it for the first time like last year.
Good. Oh my
Amazing.
gosh.
Cannot wait for the reboot.
Yeah.
And that we could not afford new clothes for her, so she often wore the same clothes for years at a
Oh my
time. And that we had not paid for any hobbies or extracurriculars.
Wouldn't they know? Well, I guess if they're random parents, but I feel like if they were parents of her friends, she'd probably be doing extracurriculars with their children.
Okay, so this
These
girl's
parents
just
are gullible.
completely lying.
Yep.
Yeah, and
See?
she's good at it.
Okay.
Because of the name.
Hey, Ming Ming says
Every
It's true.
iris is a liar.
Hey, Ming Ming says that's not begging, that's a scam. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
pulling a scam.
Yeah.
She's working a con, says Cowbot is God. If the Marks were dumb enough to fall for it, that's on them.
Like, if she's saying these things, how does she look? Does she look like, I guess, dirty? A little
She
like.
put on some makeup.
Yeah, she rubs a little dirt on her face before she goes
like,
up to these people.
She rolled in mulch.
Because,
And
dude, when we were in France, there were people on the side of the road begging for money. But, like, this dude wore, like, a nice button-down shirt and pants. And it looked like he just came from his house.
I don't know.
yeah, I know. Then I'm like, wait, this guy actually looks good. Maybe I shouldn't give him money. Like, you want them to look bad, but like you feel bad when they do, and then it's like, oh my God, I'm so confused. Somebody help me. Do I give money or not?
What a moral conundrum.
That's why you must perform. It clears up
And that's
the
why I
lines.
perform. That's why I became a performer. So I can feel good
Beg
about
on
making
the
my money.
street.
I am not denying we are not well off, but we are not poverty stricken like she implied. Of course, the trip is not denied because she told people we cannot afford it. It is denied because she lied to people to get them to give her money.
Oh my gosh.
Dang.
I gotta know.
Yeah, I
like,
gotta know.
Yeah,
how
there's
this
a-
goes down.
There's an update. So I had a sit-down discussion with my daughter after work today. I thought she was still going to be upset about the whole situation, but to my surprise, she started crying and told me she was sorry. The gist of it is as follows. I will try to be clear about it. I asked her why she had not just come to me to make a plan about raising money. She said she was just upset we could not afford it, and she admitted she should have come to me. I apologized for not following up with her and just assuming, which she acknowledged, but she also insisted she is mature and could also have come to me. I then asked her why on earth was she lying about not being able to afford food, and told her that was a pretty serious thing, as someone could have called CPS on us.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
She started crying again and said she was sorry and that she knew it was wrong, but she just really wanted to be able to afford the trip. Where are they going on this trip?
Yeah,
What
I
is
don't
this
know.
trip? I really want to know.
I don't
Is
know.
it like
It's
you
just
going to
Disneyland.
Paris or something? Like, what is this?
I think it's just a state.
Like a national park.
Yeah.
I really want to go to Yellowstone. Please.
So bad. I heard the bison there. Mommy, please.
Please, I just want to see it. All my friends are going. She begged to be able to use the money to go on the trip, but I told her that we could not do that. That was scammed money. I then told her that she should give it back, but that I would sell some stuff in the home. The money I get from that, plus the little bit I saved already, should hopefully be enough to cover her trip. She started crying again and thanked me. We then had a discussion about the time I spend with her, and I apologized for not being able to spend as much time as I would like. She said it was okay, but I am still going to try to figure something out. I cannot afford to cut hours, but maybe something else. In the end, I hugged her and asked her if she wanted to have a mother-daughter day at the park this weekend on my day off, which she gladly accepted.
Nice.
I told her in the future if any situation like this ever arises, she just needs to come to me for help and we will figure something out.
She's manipulating the situation.
She got what she wanted. She's a genius.
She's 13.
A genius 13.
Not buying it.
My bangs are banging, Nina. Yes, thank you. I will always accept a bang compliment. You can ask Sophia. I've been complaining all day
It's
about my
true.
You just deleted it.
I don't know what you're talking about. Lock in.
Okay. There will not be any need to lie to people to get money out of them. She agreed and apologized again. By the way, you will never have to apologize if you listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app and just type in OK Story Time.
Woo!
There's a little bit left.
Sure is. Your daughter's a scam artist, but it seems like you got through to her today.
Overall, a very productive discussion. I am just glad that she realized the lying and guilting was wrong and took accountability for it. So now I am going to do my hardest to get her on the trip. I will even borrow money from family members if I have to.
That's so
Is that
funny.
the same thing?
No, not if OP's like. I think it would be even funnier if OP went to the family members and was like, "We're starving. We need it. We don't have any money for anything. We don't sleep at night." And then she just does the same thing as her daughter.
Come here, my little one.
Come here.
Sit on mommy's lap. Aw, stop. It's so cute. La 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 la. Nee. She was very receptive to what I was saying, despite some of the commenters in the last thread telling me she was going to cut contact as soon as she turned
Yeah, those
18.
commenters were weird.
That's so much.
yeah, weird commenters.
That's crazy. Not really sure why people kept making judgments based on assumptions that were untrue. I do not hate my daughter. My daughter does not hate me. What? What is happening?
My daughter does not hate me. I do
Oh.
not hate my daughter.
We like each other.
I was not trying to punish her for telling people we could not afford the trip. I would have preferred if she did not broadcast our financial situation like this, but if she had got the money from telling the truth, only that we could not afford the trip, I would have still let her use that money to go on the trip. I just did not want her to go on a trip with money she got dishonestly. I agree.
Agreed.
Anyways, I do not expect any further updates to happen, and I am ready to consider this matter closed.
Yay! Yeah, yay! Anyway, that was a great story, and I'm glad you figured it out. Bye.
Bye.
Bye now. Well, that was the end of that story.
My friend invites me on trips just to ask for gas money.
Cha-ching. Pay me now.
I, 23 male, come from the city, so I'm a veteran public transportation rider. Said that was like so nonchalantly. Like
Veteran public transportation. That's new.
VPTR. I have never heard of this, but you do you
I
know,
hope
P.
they're being funny.
No, I feel like,
Hey, go on.
okay, I attend a university where public transportation isn't abundant, but still reliable. Recently, my friend, 20 female, got a new car, and excitement has been using it frequently. This has led to her asking and later begging me to join her on trips to the store, the mall, or anywhere off campus.
Okay.
By the way, this comes from user pseudo-optics, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Keon,
I'm Riley.
and we're here to give good advice goofily. We don't have all the answers, maybe some, but we only know what we do. So let us know what you do in the comments, please. As Opie says, at first, I agreed to these trips since she was still in the freedom phase of owning a car. I have to ask this. When you got your car or your driver's license the first time you were driving, what was the first thing that you did?
Went to Food Line.
What's Food Line? Is that like a fast
It's
food?
like a grocery store. It's like Food City.
Cool. I went to a fast food restaurant like immediately. Like
Yeah.
left the DMV or like whenever I got it. My mom was with me because I was still like 17, so I still needed an adult. But I was like, we're going to get fast food, and you can't tell me what to do because I can drive now.
Yeah.
So I get the freedom phase. After a few weeks, she started demanding gas money for her service. I would normally pay for all my goods and services, but I'm baffled at this. She invites me on these little runs willingly, and mostly to places I do not need or care to go. I have told her often that I would rather use public transportation as my university student fees pay for it. When I turn her down, she asks again or passive-aggressively comments on not spending time with her. I do not have a lot of money compared to her. She comes from a rich family and has a fair bit of cash on her at all times. Then girly pop, why are you asking me for money?
Yeah, why are you asking me to go everywhere with you? Like, pay for it yourself. What the heck?
I do not understand the underlying issue or how to address it. And there's an edit. I am attracted to the same gender. Oh, here we go. I'm Broadway musical, show tune singing, mall going, and if I have money and take the bus, I am attracted to the same gender.
I knew it. I could tell.
I mean, really?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I thought. I just assumed.
Opie says, why is this so important? I don't know, but apparently you guys think that from my inbox that I'm trying to sleep with her. No, just no.
Yeah, that was the thought. Like, did she have a crush on you, or that you guys just besties, small besties?
I mean, I feel like one, she can't do things on her own. She wants a little car companion, which is fine, but like, why would I be paying for your gas services? If she was driving you to the airport or driving you around to places that you need to go,
Sure.
I get that.
But it was all on her doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. She's found a way to manipulate you.
Yeah.
She's kind of smart for her.
But I hope you're not paying her because that's really dumb, especially if she's rich, by the way.
Yeah. Right. She comes from a rich family. She's asking for OP
She
for
always
gas
has money on hand. Why do you need that money? I'd be like, one, I'm not willing to go, like,
Well, she knows how to get money out of people. She's smart because she goes.
I
Yeah.
don't think so.
She knows how to get it from her daddy and from you.
Maybe you're her daddy.
Whoa.
But he has some top relevant comments. User KJSGNSKN, wow. And this is also downvoted. She's using you because she can. You want to F her, which OP doesn't. She wants your money and for you to be a shoulder to cry on. She's going to keep using you until you realize this and wake up. She's not going to F you, bro. Move on. There's an edit. Yes, I know you didn't say you want to F her, but it's painfully obvious otherwise. How is she even a friend if she treats you like such crap? OP responds with, I am and she knows I find her very unattractive. And that same user also getting downvoted. Ha 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 ha. Wow. Why the F is she your friend then? Get rid of the witch.
You can't understand.
I don't understand.
If you don't want to do her, then why are you hanging out with her?
That commentator is an idiot.
He's such a bro.
That's Chad.
He was at the gym like just curling in 50s right now.
She's not gonna F you. Dummy. Moron over here. Oh, dude, you're attracted to the same gender? Then why are you even talking to her?
Yeah. We got it.
OP responds with, she has great qualities as a friend.
See how he didn't say a great personality?
Yeah, the only great qualities. This started recently and came out of left field. I have the thought the car has changed her. She's become more entitled, but in a joking manner. She joked about going to the university and demanding they give her a personal/reserved parking space. All
She's
right.
on too much of a high. She needs a job. She needs to
Yeah.
be humbled.
Yeah.
She's getting too
Someone
high.
Yeah. Well, I want to know what car she's driving.
It's a Range Rover.
I was gonna say like a
Dude.
BMW.
Dude. This chick from my high school, she got a Range Rover from her parents.
Did she crash it?
She didn't like the color and she started crying. Range Rover.
Yeah.
She also lives like 8 minutes away from me right now.
I want to talk to her. I like meeting those people. I want to talk to her. I need to talk to her. I have to ask some personal questions of her. I don't know if this is a phase and it'll wear off in a few days, or if this is the real her. Opie also replied to a deleted comment. Opie saying, I have paid her for the first month when this started to happen. Since I actually got something from her trips, I figured, why not? But then this got increasingly worse and gas isn't cheap. It's not even a pay half sort of deal. It's a pay all for the gas?
Why are you doing this? Why?
This girl needs to learn. This is a life situation, girly pop. You got she's like, "Wait, I need to pay insurance too? Wait, I need to pay insurance? What? I have to renew my license? What?" I just want to know what car she drives, but also, who is she?
Yeah, honestly. This is so like out of left
This sounds
field, bro.
very high school.
Yeah, dude.
Opie also replies to another deleted comment saying, if I was pining for spicy sleep, I'd go for her attractive older brother. Though no amounts of him would make her actions okay. Hated that. You're just like, I want a brother. Go for her brother, actually.
I guess this is why we're here. I still don't understand why you're here, man. Are you just guilted into it?
Yeah.
Is your CPP just this bad?
I don't know. Another deleted user says, you straight up tell her to stop asking if she expects you to pay for her gas. Another user saying, Bill just butch. This was an open and shut case. And we're on to an update, which is 4 days later.
I hope he learned how to say no to her.
I would call her out. Like, if she really is a friend, I'd be like, hey, dude, you know I'm not paying for your gas, right? And I will stop going on car rides with you and fun trips with you if you keep asking for me to pay for gas.
Also, you know, I'm going to be for real. It's like all my friends that I know would not put up with this.
No.
They would be like, honey, no, we're not. Excuse me? They get all sassy and they'd be like,
You know what they say?
please.
I'd even say, like, no, you should pay me because I'm
Honestly.
your passenger princess.
Yeah, honestly.
But we have an update 4 days later. As stated before, her actions are relatively recent. She hasn't had a bad friend since I met her. She's one of those super who lock theater pushover Tumblr gals. Oh boy.
Oh, no. she's
Her
a Tumblr
words,
gal.
not mine.
Oh, Lord.
Oh boy.
She got that little Tumblr link in her bio,
That
Instagram bio.
sounds interesting. So, this took me by surprise. I decided to sit her down in a public place and speak with her about the issue.
After I took the bus to get there.
Yeah. Yeah. I told her that I don't have a lot of money and I won't flip the bill on trips she invites me to. Of course, she got angry.
All you care about is just driving my car with me.
She stated that I shouldn't use her and I was a bad friend. I ended up giggling in reply as I do this when I'm nervous. This infuriated her. She went on a long-winded monologue about how she knows my type and how since she's from Long Island, that's why. Since she's from Long Island, I think she has money, blah, blah, blah. When she finally stopped, I informed her that was not the case. I explained that I don't care about her parents' money, but our friendship. After further discussion, she started to tear up.
Uh-oh. Wait, what? Why is she crying now? Is this a manipulation tactic?
I don't know. but
Sometimes people cry, and I feel like it's a manipulation tactic.
Long Island, if you don't know where that is, Long Island's a place in New York, and
Yep.
they got, it's like I'm walking here kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like they got the accent. They're New Yorkers.
Thick.
Yeah. Turns out that though mommy and daddy bought her car and was providing her with gas money, an allowance per se, she was saving up for something she wanted. This something was a $5,000 trip to have her online boyfriend fly up this summer and put him in a ritzy hotel. And this is where I say, give me back my money.
Yeah.
Give me back my money.
What is this?
I would say, cry me more than a river, please. Cry me an ocean, because it's not good. I don't care.
Online boyfriend? Girl,
Um,
you sound like you can get any boyfriend you want. Not a, what the heck? You've been catfished.
Yeah. Her parents didn't
Pretty-
approve.
I'm sorry. Pretty soon you can like AI generate FaceTime
I'm scared. That's scary.
where like you won't even know.
Her parents didn't approve of her relationship, so they wouldn't fund it. Apparently, she's been hustling people out of their money in order to fund the trip, while
What?
continuing her luxury lifestyle. I believe she expected me to feel some sort of sympathy for her. She was very teary-eyed and sniffling about true love and how she's doing this to meet the one. But I couldn't take it. I ended up explaining to her that she cannot use people as human ATMs.
But mommy and daddy are.
And that even though she is a nice girl, I don't appreciate her doing ugly things. That's a bar.
That gets to those rich girls
Yeah.
doing ugly things. They hate that word.
Yeah, It's a good phrase. She babbled on about how I wouldn't understand because love or some crap. I sighed and ended my friendship with her on the spot.
Dang.
Good. I spent a lot of time with this girl and collected several good memories. Just several?
Probably about 6 or 7, you know.
About 6 or several memories. That's crazy. But someone who refuses to see their own wrongdoings is not for me. But I do know it is for you. More episodes with stories just like this. Just go to your favorite podcast app, such as iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and search up OK Storytime. That should be good enough for you. There's a little bit left.
If you really want to get back at her, stay her friend. Keep your enemies closer. Find out what hotel they're
No,
going.
not even. I'd be like, dude, your car
No,
sucks.
no. Find out what hotel you're going to.
Okay.
When her boyfriend comes in.
No. I would tell everybody, like, stop funding her make-believe
Oh,
boyfriend.
yeah. Do an Instagram post.
Yeah, like she's using. I would be like, anyone who knows this girl, stop paying her. You're just trying to fund her. By the way, she's rich.
Ooh.
By the way, she's rich.
Yeah.
Did the car not show you that she's rich? She probably flaunts it too. She's like, I'm rich.
Pull up her daddy's net worth on Google.
I don't know. I wouldn't do. I don't know. I would just like stop funding her and like put her on blast.
Honestly.
Let's finish up the story. Haven't heard this in a long time. I wouldn't really classify her as a Tumblrina. She likes Tumblr culture, but she isn't as radical / insane as the ones I've seen online. Second edit. Still very much attracted to the same gender. Yeah. And we have some top relevant comments. User Bilk Osby says, that got me. Good name. I often wonder what the ceiling is for people like this in terms of personal growth. I know a lot of people who were entirely self-centered and ridiculous like this in their teens who turned around and became mature and great humans. However, I have not met many people who were able to grow past such behaviors after they hit 20. I don't know if it's some sort of critical period or if I'm just entirely wrong, but it just seems like when a person is still treating other people like props in their life by the time they're supposed to be at least somewhat personally independent and responsible, the future is bleak. Let's hope that your ex-friend learns how to be a regular human person sometime in her future. However, you're making the right move, not waiting around to find out if she does. User Exiled123X says, she's toxic. Good for you for ending your friendship, which it's debatable if you could call it that. We have 2 more comments. User The Scammer says, many selfish people simply do not realize they are selfish. They think people don't understand their needs. But once you start lying, you are a next level crap bag. And again, just everyone saying she's a greedy, selfish friend.
Yeah.
If you could even call her a friend.
Honestly, dude. Weird. I don't like it.
That is in the story.
Good for you, OP. Stand on business.
You know what?
Slay.
Just again, say her car's ugly. Tell her she's a bad driver. I guarantee she's also the type of like person like who like bumps into a car and she's like, that's fine. They won't notice. They're not there.
Daddy will pay for it.
Exactly. Or like, oh, my dad will cover it. I don't have to worry about that. You have to worry about that? That's crazy. But we have a story.
My sister disrespected me at my own wedding.
Get out.
I have explicitly told my sister twice on 2 separate occasions, which does that mean you told her 4 times?
Mm-hmm.
One being the wedding rehearsal yesterday, that she cannot invite people to my wedding behind my back and that her best friend is not coming. But she wouldn't be my sister if she respected me and didn't try to center everything around herself. By the way, this comes from user Worldly Might 3183, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit, and we are here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do, so tell us what you would do down in the comments. And OP says, she knew about our wedding date before her baby was even conceived. He is welcome to be there or not. The baby, I
The
assume.
baby is welcome to be here.
We can't be banning the baby.
The baby, I guess, can come.
Baby kind of needs to come. Probably, maybe, a little bit. I don't know.
Maybe come.
Her drinking buddy is not coming. It makes no sense to have a babysitter if the baby being sat is going to be at the wedding, because then my sister can take care of him.
Well, I kind of actually get the desire to bring a babysitter because you want to enjoy the wedding, but maybe you want to have the baby close by just in case anything goes wrong. I gotta get that.
And just someone to hand the baby to.
Yeah.
And then you can be babyless for just a brief moment.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Sounds like you just really don't like her friend.
Yeah.
Okay, this is just an excuse to have someone there she wants to drink with, and someone I have met maybe twice in my life. We're having a small wedding, and frankly, just the disrespect of first inviting someone and then asking me if it's okay when I had already heard from others she had is bad enough. But then when I said no, telling me yesterday at the wedding rehearsal that her friend will need a seat at the back of the chapel was a real, are you effing serious moment. Honestly, I bet she will try to ignore me again and have her friend there. There isn't much I can do except preempt a few people to boot her bestie out on my behalf if it comes to it. This is just so expected, typical, really unsurprising, and I really wish it wasn't. I wish my sister would respect me on my day and not put herself first. All she has to do is be there with or without baby. Baby being dropped off after the ceremony. Fine, easy, dandy. But no, I am not having someone who does not know my family be there without being invited. I will update with what happens. Either way, it will be my happy day. Families be familying. And there is an update.
There sure is. There sure is.
I think she shows up to the wedding and you become best friends.
With a drinking buddy. Yeah. I think it'll all work out. I think you gotta, you know what? If you really want to ban people, let's ban the baby. If you ban the baby, then everything kind of falls into place.
You have a written statement that has to be read before anyone is allowed to enter. And when the baby pulls some stunt, like,
did you sign that written agreement? And the baby's like, because it can't write. And you're like, well, oh, you can't be in here because you didn't sign the written agreement, baby.
I'm sorry, baby, but it clearly says in your baby email that I sent you. I don't know if you got that. Yeah, you're out.
Baby Yahoo, Yaboo-hoo.
And then the baby just goes, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, and walks out.
Walks off smoking a big cigar.
Cigar baby.
Cigar baby's a classic.
Yeah, everyone knows that.
In fact, you should have a cigar baby at your wedding.
Everyone needs a cigar baby at their wedding.
You can say, you can bring the baby, but it's got to be, it's got to come
be
correct.
A cigar baby.
It's got to be in the shape of a cigar baby.
It has to be in the shape of a cigar baby?
Yeah, you know, like the silhouette.
So it's always in shadow.
Well, yeah, you don't want people to know you let your baby smoke a cigar.
No.
There's a lot of layers to that, but let's just get into the update. First of all, thank you for all the well wishes and congratulations. The wedding was perfect.
Yay.
From the moment hubby and I locked eyes from across the ceremony, we were in tears and never stopped smiling. Our little toddler wild card brought so many laughs.
Aww.
And the day was all about love and family. Everything was stunning and went smoothly, and I wish every moment lasted a lifetime.
Aww.
And now the drama.
Yarr.
Yar.
Maybe you just, maybe they mean, they had a play.
Yeah, they did a Shakespeare production.
Yeah, and they were like, oh, the drama, it was great.
Yeah.
Did a little much ado, pretty nice. That wedding scene, not too good.
Much ado about cigar babies.
Mm-hmm.
For those that wanted me to remove my sister and her friend, sorry, that didn't happen. I owe a lot of people $50. For those that wanted me to go low or no contact, you got your wish.
Oh.
What she did was worse.
Oh, no.
Near the end of the reception, where there was drinking, dancing, and good laughs, I joined in with my cousins, and they had a few tidbits to tell me about having to keep my sister in check and away from non-family. My new brother-in-law, a good bloke.
A good bloke.
A nice good bloke he is. He came over and joined in on the laughing and asked if this was about him and the other groomsmen. He whisked me away to let me know. In the light of the next day, it is really sinking in that my sister tried to woo married or coupled men at my wedding by cornering them, feeling them up, and having her front airbags out. Sister sounds like she's got a problem.
Yeah, seems like she's going through something.
I am angry with myself for not thinking of booting her out then and there. I honestly didn't think about that option, and everyone was downplaying it by making her the butt of the joke and telling me they would keep her in line. And by the way, I want to keep you in line by letting you know that you can listen to full episodes of stories like this on your favorite podcast platform, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Just search OK Storytime. And we have a little bit left of this story.
So it seems like she doesn't have a partner in her or her child's life. So that's, at least she's not cheating on anyone. But is trying to cheat with people or make people cheat on their partners weird behavior.
It feels like a very sloshy kind of behavior.
Yeah, it seems like she's probably drinking a lot.
Yeah, I think she might have been a little slooshed
up, man.
At least it was, funny to them.
Yeah, at least it seems like your people at the party had fun, so that's something.
Yeah, it's good they could all laugh about it.
Yeah, every party needs a little bit of a drama to heighten the stakes. you know?
Just a sprinkle of spicy harassment from your sister.
Yeah, harassment.
Have spicy harassment.
It's like, you know, when you're a kid and you go home with party favors and stuff. Adult party favors are just like a little bit a little bit gossip.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Suffice to say, I do not want to see her anytime soon. I will not be spending Christmas, my kid's birthday, or any other time with her. I have told my now husband, and he says if she plays dumb or whines to the family, everyone will have my back. And a simple, so how many men saw your front airbags at my wedding, should shut her up. I do feel so much disappointment. I knew she was a loose cannon and main character syndrome, have her, but I didn't think she would be a wannabe homewrecker. It is weird growing up with someone, knowing them forever, and still not seeing how bad they are. We are polar opposites. I don't want to involve my mom with this. She'll be heartbroken too. I think I'll leave it until Christmas plans are discussed, and then I'll let that ball drop. And that is the end of that story.
There you go. Yeah, it seems like your wedding went well. You got a kind of sticky relationship with your sister, and then hope it all goes all right going forward.
She might not even be as bad as you think. She might just be going through some sort of nonsense.
I mean, she seems to be a single mom. Just had her kid. Might just be kind of figuring things out.
Yeah.
It's not your responsibility, though, but, you know.
I do want to say there was a startling lack of cigar babies at your wedding.
Yes,
and,
startling lack.
I hope everything goes well.
But it can't go that well if you didn't have a cigar baby.
Yeah, come on.
But that's the end of that story, and we've got another one coming right up.
Ooh, wee mama.
I won $1,000 in a raffle. And my dad said I should give it to his baby.
It's mine! All mine!
I, 16 female, entered our yearly towns raffle, not thinking I'd win. I just bought tickets because I supported the charity. There are always good prizes, the top one being a gift card for $1,000 in a gift card. By the way, this comes from Most Plenty 3578, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Savannah.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Carly.
And we are here to give some good advice goofily. But we do not have all of the answers. We'd only let you know what we would do in this situation, but let us know what you would do down in the comments, because we read each and every one of them very thoroughly.
Mm-hmm.
As OP says, my stepmom won a fancy wine/food basket, which she told us she'd enjoy all to herself as it was her prize, and with the pregnancy/money troubles, she said she deserved something just for her. About 2 days later, while at my mom's, I got a text saying I won. After collecting my prize, my mom said I should spend it all on things I always wanted, but we couldn't afford, so I did. I get nice shoes, perfumes, makeup, etc. Here's where I made a mistake. I posted to social media about winning and what I got. Within 30 minutes, Dad called me and told me I was selfish and cruel to buy myself unnecessary crap while I knew they were struggling. Stepmom then got on the phone and asked how much I had left, so I said $280.
Stop telling them things.
She then asked would I return my stuff or at the very least give them the gift card so they could get stuff for the baby because I knew how bad they were struggling. I said no. Just like her gift basket, it was mine to keep. She started crying, calling me names I couldn't understand, and Dad took the phone saying he was disappointed in me and I've changed the way he views me. I just hung up afterwards. Dad told my mom that it's best I don't come over for a few weeks until everyone calms down. My stepsister texted me saying, F them. They shouldn't be having more kids they can't afford. But my stepmom had been sending me messages begging to help them out for the innocent baby's sake. Now I feel extremely guilty. There is verdict here. But what do we think?
How old is OP again?
16.
They should not be asking a 16-year-old for money. That is completely inappropriate.
Nope.
Yeah, that I would, if I were OP's mom, I would be having a word with the ex-father, or the father for her ex.
I'd be pretty upset.
Yeah, I'd be like, excuse me, go take care of your own baby with your own money. Stop pestering our freaking 16-year-old for money that, she should be able to spend on whatever she wants.
Yeah, I hate when parents, kind of guilt their kids into, especially, financial situations. And it's,
not okay.
That is so much, believe it or not, that is trauma for them. Because then they think, everything I earn, I have to give to someone else, or else I feel guilty for keeping it.
Yeah.
And, that's such a horrible way of thinking.
Yeah.
But the verdict here is not the a-hole. And there are some relevant comments. Onion Kid says, not the a-hole. It's your money. But pregnancy troubles? Were they planning on drinking that wine while pregnant? That would make your stepmother a major a-hole. OP responds, oh no, she said they were when she has the baby, and I tried to keep the character limit down. I meant since she was pregnant, and they were having money troubles due to this pregnancy and the last two. Sorbet 7877 says, if they've recently had 2 others, they should have all the baby stuff they need anyway. Didn't
Good
even think of
point.
that. It did
Good
not
point.
even cross my mind. They are clearly selfish people, and as others have said, will spend the money on themselves anyway. Stay Jaded responds, how many kids do they have? OP responds, my dad has me from his first marriage. Stepmom has 2 kids, my stepsister, 17, 23. They have 3 girls, 5, 3, 18 months together, and I think this baby is a boy. Callie LeBlaze says, not the a-hole. Did you decide to have a child? No, it's not your fault that they decided to have another child and not your responsibility to provide for them. This is doubly true because you yourself are still a kid. Don't let them make you feel guilty and enjoy the heck out of your prize. OP responds, I won't lie, I have enjoyed it. I know this will sound pathetic, but I've never had name brand things that were new, so opening those boxes just can't describe the happiness it gave me. Grave Dancer 40 replies, that is not pathetic at all. That's something you have every right to be excited about. And there's an update.
Oh boy.
Next day, my mom was at work when everything really happened, and we never got a chance at a proper conversation till she woke up a while ago. She asked to see the messages I was sent and got extremely angry, so she called my father and asked to be put on speaker, then ripped them both the new one.
Good.
I like
Good
Bio
job.
Mom.
Mm-hmm.
I like Bio Mom. She told my dad she'll be going back to court for full custody and the backdated child support he owed, which was news to me, not gonna lie.
Oh dang! Can't even afford the previous children now.
Wow. That's crazy. What is like, how do you think? How does that like you have all these kids and then it's like,
You can't afford them.
we really are struggling on money. I have an idea. Another kid could solve this problem. They could make money eventually and give it to us.
They're like business idea. More kids, more money. They all work for us.
Yeah. Like, okay.
Those are children, actually.
Those are children, and that's called child labor.
Yeah. We actually have like laws against that.
Yeah,
now.
sorry. He told her she can't do that, and she said with the text and voicemail they sent us, she very much could. I started getting calls, but I just blocked them. Stepsister told me they're losing their crap thinking of ways to fix it, and it's best if I blocked her number /Instagram and we just speak via TikTok till she's 18 and 5 months and can legally live with her older sister. By the way, you can legally listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app and just search up OK Storytime. And you'll find it all right there, ladies and gents.
You sure will.
But there is a little bit left. Any final thoughts?
I think I think I'm glad your mom stood up for you, and I think you're good now. Good luck with all of the freaking court stuff, though.
Yeah. Seems like this story's wrapping up pretty nicely.
Yeah.
Besides all the court things.
Besides all the court stuff and the
Besides
legal
all
battle
that.
between your parents in custody, totally good.
On your end,
Yeah.
seems like things have been sorted.
At least you have $1,000. Well,
280 now.
280 now.
Maybe spend it on like
A lawyer.
a day trip. Oh, or a lawyer.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure your mom already has one.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I don't know what dad and stepmom will do after all their babysitters leave the house, but I hope they'll just stop having kids they can't afford. I know it's super early to say this because it's been a day, but the things dad said to me, I honestly think our relationship will never be okay. But maybe in a few months, I might forgive him. There are some final comments on the relationship with her mother and her father/stepmother's money problems. Corinne 2013 says, I love that relationship you have with her. It's awesome when steps get along really well. Not necessarily, but a delight when it occurs. Screw your dad and stepmom. It's on them to take care of you and not you, them, and their baby. She could have possibly traded someone that basket for money. Or, not spent any money on raffle tickets she couldn't even afford to spend in the first place. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're low on money.
Great
and
point.
If you're low on money, you probably shouldn't enter a raffle
Yeah.
where you might just spend money and not make anything back.
It's just a lottery. But there you go.
OP responds, yeah, they're not the smartest with money. When she was pregnant with my third half-sister, they went on a baby moon and she demanded a push present, even though my uncle had to pay for their electric and water to be turned on.
They went on a baby moon?
What does that even
That's
mean?
not a thing, a honeymoon, but for the baby.
Oh, I've actually heard of those a lot in stories.
Oh, well,
Baby
that's
moon.
stupid if you don't have money.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
But I have heard of it.
Great if you got the funds. Horrible mistake
Fake.
if you have nothing to your name
No.
and need somebody else to pay your bills.
Yes.
And that's the end of that story.
And there you go. Good luck.
My husband changed after he sold his dream truck for our incoming baby.
Baby can't drive.
Baby can't
The
drive that
Outback.
truck.
But can't drive a baby in the Outback.
My husband, 26 male, and I, 26 female, have been together for 4 years and married for 2 of those years. We always planned on having children, but 7 months ago, we found out it was happening a lot sooner than we imagined. By the way, this comes from user March2ndX, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Riley.
And we are here collectively to give you good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do, so let us know what you would do in the comments, as OP says. He bought the truck right before we met. He loved it. I guess you could say he was even slightly obsessed with it. I knew this before we started dating, and it didn't change in the 4 years we have been together. He spent a lot of money on it and continued to spend a lot of money on it. Everything he did in his spare time had to do with his truck. All his friends are truck guys like him, and he's even in this cute little truck club. Yeah, what's the name of your truck club? The cute little truck club guys.
Cute little truck club, like guys. Me
we're
and my
in the
baby are in the truck club. Maybe you should get your baby into it.
TCGs? TLTCG?
TLC.
CLTCG.
And they're like, tough love and care? No. Truck love and cars.
Since we've been together, I don't think we have taken my car anywhere. We have been together, actually. He doesn't make great money, but he likes his job and still paid his portion of everything, so I never had a problem with him spending his little bit of extra money on his truck. We found out I was pregnant, and we were both scared, shocked, and excited. A few months ago, he brought up that he doesn't know if he'll be able to afford the truck and the baby. I didn't even know if it would be practical with how big and loud the truck is. We didn't talk about it for a while, and then a few weeks ago he told me that as much as he didn't want to, he was going to try and sell the truck because the baby was getting so close. He said he couldn't afford the payments and upkeep and maintenance on the truck if we were raising a child. He was in good spirits about it and found potential buyers very quickly.
Nice.
He sold it a couple of days later for what he wanted and bought a car the next day. It's been around 3 weeks since he sold the truck, and he has changed completely.
Aw, his
No.
truck.
A man without his truck.
Is like a
Like a cat without its claws.
yeah, there we go. A dog without its balls.
Just something is innately wrong.
Yeah, that's so sad.
We are always laughing and having fun together, and I don't think I've seen him smile since. I've done everything I can think of to make him feel better and to get his mind off it, and nothing has worked. He just comes home from work and watches TV until bed. He's mopey and just drains the energy out of the room, as mean as that sounds. I asked him why he hasn't been hanging out with his friends anymore, and he told me because he sold his truck.
What friends are those?
He only hung out with his friends because they bonded over a truck.
Why didn't you just maybe sell your truck to get a different truck that is maybe more feasible to own while having a child?
Dang, man. This poor guy just
yeah.
doesn't have any non-truck friends.
Yeah, maybe give them, I don't know.
Maybe you can join a fishing club.
Ooh, Miss Kitty Cat says, that sounds like a horse girl life.
I guess so.
I mean, that
Car
kind of
guys
checks
and
out.
horse girls are pretty much the same thing.
So it turns out our friends were the trucks we owned along the way.
Yeah, bummer.
And without the truck, we are friendless.
Bummer.
He said everything they did was related to trucks somehow, and it wouldn't be the same. Last night, he told me he feels resentment and bitterness towards me, even though it was 100% his decision to sell the truck, and he doesn't know why he feels that way.
Yeah, that's an issue that he needs to fix.
What can I do to help him get past all this? Is he depressed? I just don't know what to do. I know it was just a truck, but it had more of an impact on him than I thought it would, and there are some relevant comments.
Well, first of all, not your problem. It wasn't anything that you did to cause it. The only thing I would suggest is just keep affirming that it is a big deal. It is a tough thing to lose. He cared about it deeply. If you can afford therapy.
Yeah.
And just say I really understand that you sacrificed this thing that you care a lot about. But remember, we're doing this for our baby that we're raising. And
having a baby.
Yeah.
And if your truck friends were only friends when you had the truck, are they really your friends?
That's a good question.
Like what else? You couldn't pull up at an outing without your truck, without it just being like, oh, check out Bozo over here without his
Doesn't
truck.
have his truck.
Having a baby, so he got rid of his truck. Bozo status.
Loser.
I wonder what kind of truck it was. I'm like, oh, here we go. Okay, I found some optics. Okay, keep going.
There are some comments. Panic Bread says, sounds like it was a huge mistake to sell that truck. People don't have the ability to give up who they are just because they have children. Maybe he wouldn't have had the money to keep it in tip-top shape, but who cares? Encourage him to take some of the money from the sale and buy a less expensive truck. OP replies, yeah, I know he regrets it, but he had an $800 monthly payment on it, plus everything else. Oh my God, what truck did he buy?
Ooh, that's expensive.
I know what truck he bought. I won't say it though, because no free sponsors. I asked him why he didn't get an older and less expensive truck, and he said he would rather just have a car than downgrade from his dream truck. That's silly. You're downgrading anyway.
Yeah.
You downgraded to a car. Just if you're a truck nut, downgrade to a different truck.
That doesn't have $800.
Silly boy.
$800 monthly payment.
Silly boy. I'm hoping he has a change of heart and decides to sell or trade the car in for a more affordable truck. He should 1000% just do that.
Yeah, just do that. And then you can go hang out with your truck friends again.
Crazy Mike says, sounds like he not only gave up his truck, but also his social circle. Being cut off from your friends feels incredibly lonely. Maybe reach out to his truck buddies for some ideas on how to re-engage him into their circle. Maybe they can find a project truck they can all work on together. If he's close with them, then surely even they don't want him to just disappear. OP replies, they have reached out to him to come hang out and such, but he said he would feel weird and kind of uncomfortable doing the kind of stuff they did before and not having his own truck.
My guy, you just do it.
My sympathy is gone for this man.
Yeah, what were you guys doing with those trucks that you have to have your own truck to do?
It's like, I just would feel weird if it wasn't my truck.
Yeah, I would just feel weird because when we would kiss and stuff, like we would always be like on the side of my truck.
Yeah.
We would kiss and
I don't
hug
have
and
those
dance and
memories
frolic.
anymore.
Come on, like
Yeah.
at this
you've
point,
been
you're
given
he's doing it to
options.
himself. He's throwing
Yeah.
himself a little pity party
He is.
over
and
something
he's about
he
to be a parent.
100% did to himself.
Mhm.
But at
No
least
one
it
asked him
sounds
to
like
do
he
that.
knows that.
Yeah.
He's like, I am feeling resentment towards you, and I know that I did this.
Yeah, I hope so.
But I'm just grappling with that. Brother, the solution is just getting the truck.
Just
Getting
get a
Get a truck.
Or hang out with your friends without the truck.
Yeah.
One of those.
What kind of truck did the husband had? He had a Ram 3500 Cummins. I hope he comes around and becomes okay with getting a smaller, maybe inferior truck.
Yeah, so this is the one he had, Dakota?
Yeah, that's a $70,000 truck.
Yeah, and then I was thinking he could get a truck like this.
Yeah,
Ford Ranger.
Little truck. Little reasonable
Toyota
truck.
Tacoma. Whatever.
Yeah.
Just a downgrade. Something that has 2 doors still, so you
Yeah.
can put the baby in there.
Get that baby in there.
And there's a last comment from OP here. Thanks for all the feedback and advice. We have a doctor's appointment today, and I'm going to try to talk to him more about it after. And there's an update. It just sounds so simple that the solution
sounds
to this
like
is he just buys another truck and stops being a baby.
And I think he knows that. And I'm hoping that he takes another week to mope and then kind of gets back on his feet.
Can't be a baby when you got one on the way.
Yeah, I
Well,
can't have 2 babies.
I don't know. He sacrificed a lot for himself for a kid. It's tough. He can bounce
Absolutely.
back.
Which is why I'm hoping that maybe in a week he'll be fine.
Dakota has no sympathy for this man.
Get a Toyota Hilux. 1985 Toyota Hilux. Will never treat you wrong. Update 3 weeks later. I wanted to post an update because it's nice reading positive outcomes on here. I got a lot of responses and it really helped me better understand what he was going through. We were finally able to have a good talk about it. He told me what a lot of you said, that the truck was his identity and part of who he was.
Checks out.
Mm-hmm.
Which, come on, man. Honestly, I get it to some extent, but if your whole identity is an object, I don't know. That seems flimsy.
Yeah.
If I took the sawmill away from my grandpa, I feel like he'd have a hard time adjusting.
But that's more like if you took away, like, he was a mechanic and he sold his business.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
that's, you know.
I think
Okay, a chainsaw. He sold all his chainsaws.
But the thing to me that's getting me is he could have just gotten a different truck, but he instead went all the way to car, knowing that he would have this kind of response.
I don't think he did know he would have this kind of response. I think he was happy, and then he was like, "My truck." It's like, this is such a niche reference. Not that niche, but in Boy Meets World, one of the characters, Topanga, she's trying to teach Corey, the main character, this lesson about like your appearance, your outward appearances don't matter, and I don't really care about my appearance. And so she has very long hair. She just cuts it. She's like, "See, I'm fine." And then a minute later, she's like, and I feel like that's what happened to him.
Yeah.
He's like, "Wait, my truck."
You should have just bought an old Toyota, my guy.
I think he'll get over it.
I told him I knew he didn't want that car he bought, and he told me I was right. We talked more and eventually figured out something that would work. He sold the car he had, and we agreed he could just use mine. Our schedule works out to where he could take me to work and pick me up on time. It wasn't a big hassle, and I was going on maternity leave soon anyways.
Wait, so now both of you just don't have a car? Or I mean,
I think they're getting to
only
a
have
game
one car?
plan here in a
Okay,
second.
okay.
Yeah,
He's, I think, selling his car and gonna use it to
save up for a new one.
maybe.
truck.
Okay.
By the way, you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this on your favorite podcast platforms like iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search OK Storytime, and there's a little bit more of this story here. He found a totaled truck for sale, and the engine was still in good condition. It was the engine he wanted. He bought the truck for what was supposedly a really good deal, and him and a couple friends ripped everything out that he needed and got rid of the body.
And now he has a little project to work on with his
Yes.
friends.
The engine is in our garage now. It took him a couple weeks, but he found a truck to put the engine into, and him and a friend are going to pick it up this weekend.
Aw.
He's back to his old self again, and baby's going to be here soon, and we couldn't be more excited.
Aw.
And that's the end of that story. Yay!
See, there was a solution.
All you had to do was overhaul
All
a
you had to do
truck.
was get another truck.
It's my one of my favorite terms and words.
Get another truck.
When you overhaul. Overhaul is when you take an engine and you replace the engine. You overhaul.
That's cool. Didn't know that.
That's so cute. I love it. It's a southerner's little dream.
Oh, he got a little baby. He got a truck.
Hey, he's got two babies now, and one is in the shape of an 8-cylinder V8.
But that's the end of that story, and we've got another one coming right up.
I'm hesitating to include my in-laws in our will because of their behavior.
What did they do?
My husband, 24 male, and I, 24 female, have been together for nearly 4 years and have one child together. We decided around a year ago that we needed to sort out our will to ensure our daughter had a stable life should something happen to us. By the way, this comes from user Concerned Mother 501, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. My name's Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Keon.
Hi, and we're all here for one reason, and it's to give good advice goofily. But we don't have all the answers, and it makes us upset. So just tell us what you would do in the comments, because we only know what we would do right now in the here and now, and that's what we're going to tell you. And OP says, the wills that we had written states that our daughter would go to my father, 50 male. However, he's got various health conditions, which could mean he might not still be around. As a backup plan, we stated that my husband's parents, 51 female and 60 male, would get her. Over the course of the last few years, mother-in-law's behavior has been steadily declining. She's been acting like she's in her 20s, going out partying every weekend, doing illegal substances, instigating arguments with husband's siblings, etc.
Sounds like she's just a cool lady.
Looks like she's a cool lady.
Feels like she's a cool lady.
Smells like she's a cool lady.
My husband said that she had heavy drinking tendencies when he was growing up. About a year ago, she had been out partying on the Friday night and did some illegal things. Then the next morning, she was watching our daughter for us. She hadn't told us that she wasn't sober when we dropped the daughter off, and we only found out at pickup because she said to husband, "Oh yeah, I had a fun time last night. I got to do the spicy flower." My husband explained to her that we would have rather she had told us. We wouldn't have gone out, but there would have been someone sober watching our daughter. He told her that if she ever watched our daughter while under the influence again, that she wouldn't be able to have her alone anymore. I didn't realize until daughter got home that mother-in-law had also given her her first haircut without permission and threw away all the hair because her hair was bothering her. I was livid, but mother-in-law feigned ignorance, saying she didn't realize first haircuts were a thing and that she didn't take off much, but our daughter went from having nose-length hair to micro bangs. Taking into account that she had been doing a spicy flour the night before and she'd been drinking during the day and she had scissors so close to daughter's eyes, pushed me over the edge. Turned into a huge argument between me and husband, mostly because he originally tried to say it was him that cut her hair. When I said that I knew it was mother-in-law that did it, he started trying to defend mother-in-law. It's now something that gets frequently brought up in a mocking way by mother-in-law with a smirk on her face. Fast forward to last weekend. Mother-in-law had organized a family get-together for father-in-law for his 60th birthday and had also invited some of his friends and work colleagues as well. Mother-in-law and father-in-law both work in the medical industry. We arrive on time, but we weren't the first there. Husband's younger brother, 20 male, was first to arrive with his partner, 20 female. A younger brother-in-law went into the bathroom while sister-in-law sat on the couch, which looks into the kitchen. Mother-in-law was in there pressuring father-in-law into taking something, to which he gave in, and she saw them take some substances. Shortly thereafter, we arrived and said hello, and then husband's older brother, 25 male, and his partner, 30 male, arrived. While we were outside, sister-in-law told us what she had seen and was saying that she was upset that they do something like that for a family gathering. Older brother-in-law and partner came out, and after eating, we asked them if they already knew, to which they said they did. They revealed that mother-in-law had specifically told them what her and father-in-law did, and that older brother-in-law and partner were told not to tell me and husband that mother-in-law and father-in-law weren't sober. We were so angry that we just wanted to leave, but we also didn't want to upset father-in-law at his birthday celebration. After people started leaving, we made an excuse to leave with them. It did take a while, as the combination of the psychedelics plus booze caused mother-in-law to have a breakdown and start crying about how she never sees us. Husband and I have had a chat, and at this point, we're not comfortable with mother-in-law and father-in-law having daughter alone.
How did you let it last this long, though? Like, how is this the breaking point? The first time I find out that anyone has watched a child of mine under any sorts of like after a day of, taking substances, and then also while watching them was drinking, never watching my kid
this
again.
seems pretty much irrelevant to the larger issue at hand, which is that she had scissors around your 2-year-old daughter
while drinking.
after she'd been drinking.
Night of doing substances, day of drinking, watching your kid, holding scissors near her face.
We don't know what kind of substances they are taking outside of party situations, but we think it's disrespectful that they wouldn't want to be lucid for when they see their granddaughter. On top of this, they knew that we'd have an issue with them doing what they did, to the extent that they told people not to tell us specifically. Now husband and I are assessing whether we still want them as our backup in our wills. Husband hasn't talked to them about the weekend incident yet. He is still so angry and upset, as he's been the one defending mother-in-law to his siblings and me the last few years. Would we be overreacting by changing our wills to have our backup as my mom instead? She's not already, as she lives overseas. And there is an update.
You would be underreacting if you didn't.
Yeah, I don't think that's a great environment for a kid to be around. Update. We saw our lawyer on Monday and discussed with her what we wanted to be changed. It was really hard for husband, and he was quite depressed. He knew it had to be done for daughter's safety. We've had our wills changed to name my mother and stepfather as daughter's guardians if we're not around. The main thing the lawyer needed to confirm was that whether we wanted daughter to move to them or them to move to here. We had already discussed them doing the latter, so that's what will be put in. Someone suggested we specifically exclude mother-in-law and father-in-law from being potential guardians, which we suggested to our lawyer. She said that she wouldn't advise us including that in our will, as wills become publicly available after a person's passing. She instead suggested that we leave sealed letters for our executors outlining that we wish for mother-in-law and father-in-law not to be her guardians and why. In that instance, the information would only become public knowledge if they tried to ignore our wishes and get custody of daughter, as the letter could be used as evidence in court. Husband also changed his executor from mother-in-law to a close friend. We see said friend every week for game night, and he was husband's best man at our wedding. He's got a good connection with daughter. She was born the same day his mother passed, and he said that her birth gave him hope in a very dark time. Mother-in-law and father-in-law still have not contacted us. Normally, mother-in-law would ring husband every few days to check in, but it's been over a week now and still nothing. We're thinking older brother-in-law probably mentioned to them that we knew about the substances and that we were pissed. They're probably trying to wait out husband's anger and hope that it blows over. Update number 2. We finally received the dreaded call from mother-in-law after only 3 weeks of no contact. She called to ask if she could have daughter next week as it's her friend's son's birthday. We were in the middle of dinner, so husband said he'd call her back later. We finished up, and my father, 50 male, watched daughter while we went to a separate room to talk to mother-in-law. The conversation started with husband saying that he wouldn't be comfortable with her having daughter unsupervised, to which she responded that she understood, no questions asked. He started explaining to her that we didn't appreciate the substance use when we were over for father-in-law's birthday, and that we knew that she said specifically not to tell us. She tried to explain away, saying, "Oh, well, it's not something we wanted to broadcast to all the guests," and that she figured we wouldn't care because she wasn't responsible for daughter. To which we responded with, "Why mention us by name rather than just saying don't tell anyone?" She eventually confessed, saying that she didn't want us to know because we'd judge them and that they didn't want any big reactions from us. She continued on talking in loops, making out that husband was being selfish and that clearly we had the problem because we were invited to their house. They could do what they wanted in their house, and they were able to make adult decisions such as using substances. The issue is that they did it, then tried to hide it when they knew other people wouldn't be okay with it. We don't want to be around it, and we don't want our daughter around it, and she knew that. They also didn't portray it as a party. It was advertised as a Sunday lunch celebration. Yeah, that's that's false advertising.
Yeah, bunch of liars over there.
She started talking about my grandmother, who also has a drinking problem, saying that we're fine with daughter being around her, which actually we're not. She then went on to say that we shouldn't worry about it. If we're such prudes, she'll steer clear of anything questionable or addictive.
Too late. Too late.
Well, it's like now it's like it's
If
your
you're such
attitude
prudes.
has shifted. So it was like, oh, well, I mean, we're whatever. We're adults. We can make whatever decisions that we want. Well, if you guys are so lame and such prudes, then I guess we'll just never do anything around you ever. It's like, come on. They are also adults. They can decide that they don't like that stuff. Just like you're an adult, you can decide that you do.
You're just not watching their kids anymore.
She started by mentioning wine, then doubled down, saying, "Oh, wait, coffee has caffeine, and caffeine's addictive. Better steer clear of that one, too." I could see she was really starting to upset husband and make him second guess. If I feel like someone is threatening me or someone in my family, I can really lose my crap, and that's exactly what happened. I started with, "What the F is wrong with you? What in the actual F is wrong with you that you think this is okay? This is disgusting behavior, and you know it. You would never let any of your kids at 2 years old around someone who was high. You would have lost your crap. So why would you do that to your granddaughter and then expect us to be fine with it?" I was beyond furious at this point, so I was screaming into the phone. I think she was a little taken aback by my presence because she thought husband was alone. She responded with, "I'm not going to respond to yelling." I went to another room to cool off before I went back to listen again. She was talking about how father-in-law wanted to do the substances as a 60th birthday present to himself, and that it may be hard to hear when you're in your 20s, but it's not about you. But it sounded like you were trying to pressure him into doing it from what I heard
Yes, and
earlier
also,
in the story.
none of that matters because the issue here is that you're doing them around the kid. That's it. That's literally it. So you don't get to see the kid. If you want to do the substances and drink, you are more than welcome to. It's your life. But the consequence is you don't get to be around the kid.
We don't care what they do in their own time. We just don't want our daughter around it, and she knew that. She then started to go on about how she loves daughter and she wished she could see her more, and then proceeded to talk about paying for daughter's swim classes. At that point, I butted in again to say, okay, thanks. You no longer need to worry about that, as it's not going to be a point you can manipulate. She then tried to backtrack and said she was just meaning that she cares. The call continued with her trying to make excuses and manipulate husband into thinking that we were wrong for our reaction. When I would jump in, she'd make comments about me being too involved. She tried talking about how upsetting it was that we'd reacted like this, but, oh, don't feel guilty, which I think was an attempt at reverse psychology. I just reiterated that we didn't feel guilty and we were acting in the best interest of our daughter. She finished by saying that what we want to do is our decision and that what she does won't affect anything of what we think of her. I called her out, saying that her behavior on the call had been manipulative and absolutely disgusting, and husband said something to the tune of him not recognizing her anymore, said goodbye, and hung up. But by the way, you never need to say goodbye to full episodes with stories just like this on your favorite podcast platform. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts, just search OK Storytime. Okay? And there you can listen till your heart's content.
Oh, yeah. Till your heart's content.
But we have a little bit more story left.
Oh, boy. My same thoughts. Don't let them watch your kids. That's easy peasy.
Don't let them watch your kids, and your ability to make things and your will, whatever you want them to be, is yours alone. And let's finish this story. Husband was understandably distraught afterwards. He's a very passive person, and he was waiting until she called to say something to her about the substance use. I was telling him how to word his responses to her while they were talking, but he would just let her cut him off, which is probably another reason I jumped in. This has been kind of playing on my mind, as I'm not really an angry person. I try to be kind and considerate, so when I do lose my crap, it tends to stick with me. I did talk with husband and apologized for butting in, but he thanked me for backing me up. So am I the a-hole for calling out mother-in-law on her bull?
No, call her out sooner.
You are not the a-hole.
Not at all. This
Good miss.
lady should never be around kids.